right, there we go. I got things working now. It took it a minute, but we got things up and running. Had to do a restart on my PC, unfortunately, because it was not allowing me the option to offline record. Kept saying that the recording was getting terminated, so apologies for the delay, but we got that up and running now, and we're gonna get things rocking and rolling here soon. Let me go ahead and get everything else set up here as we're getting things situated, but I wanted to test that first to make sure we were good, and it looks like we are good. So go ahead and also get Zenosuke dialed up in here in the Discord. Where is he at? There he is. Call him here. We should be getting him again momentarily.
Hello.
There you are. All right, I think I got everything up and running here. Let me go ahead and turn the screen share on again, and so you can see the other screen in real time. And just let me know if you got it, okay?
All right, got it here.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So Zen, how you doing, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing pretty well, doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing all right now. I got this fixed. Yeah, it was just a restart of the PC, like you were saying. I was worried because that was like the first time I ever had that type of issue, unfortunately.
Yes, I mean, sometimes codecs fail to load or something like that. PC, am I right? Quick restart usually fixes that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen a few times.
Yeah. Oh, geez, I gotta redo my Twitter timeline too. So, like, I started. I have Restream, so and I added my Twitter to be in a outlet and everything. So I guess the stream was starting up okay, but it was just a recording. So I have like all 5-second videos of like the stream up on my Twitter. So I gotta fix that. So I'll fix that later though. All right, do this one little thing here, and then we'll rock and roll.
Yeah, man, let's hit it.
All right. So, of course, thanks for watching, guys. I am RCB, and joined by my boy Zenosuke, who's great friend, also good person to talk fighting games with. I also kind of consider him being a training partner whenever we do get to play. Fortunately, it hasn't happened with everything that's been going on as of late, but we're still discussing things, which is sad too, because I know like this is a game both you and I we're looking forward to playing a lot, and I think we've only played each other twice since the game's release.
Yeah, I feel like the last time we played was like launch night or something.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna be going over, kind of the state of the game and going over some of the characters in the roster. Obviously, everyone knows about the top four, Gran, Lancelot, Catalina, Fairy. But we want to highlight some of the other characters on the cast as well. Zen has spent a lot of time with a good variety of the characters. So I know I'm going to be leaning on him with some discussion with the characters he's played, which mainly have been Narmaya. And before Narmaya dropped, he did spend some time with Lowain as well. So I know I want to get his thoughts on those two characters in particular. But before that, Zen, I mean, we both have now had the game for 2 months, right? Like, we've basically, had it when it dropped in, Japan and Hong Kong. And now that the game's been out for 2 months and everything, what have been your thoughts about the game?
So like, I'm overall really positive about the game. I think this is probably like the best first iteration of like an ArcSys game that I've seen in like a really long time, I would say. I think the balance overall is actually quite good for where we are right now. And I think like it's still ever changing too. I'm almost kind of sad to see that a balance patch is coming so soon because I think a lot of people are starting to really understand how to deal with a lot of characters that we mentioned a little earlier. But I think the game is great. Honestly, I think it has really awesome mechanics. I think everything holds true to how I felt about it before it released. Yeah, man, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of I wouldn't say crazy. I was about to say that, but then I kind of took it back. But it's been kind of amazing seeing how well received the game has been, and like even with the game being out for a month or 2 months and everything, you look at even with everything that's going on now, like the online tournaments out of for this game, and just like the overall participation in general for this game has been extremely positive with like the numbers and just like everyone's overall thought process of how the game has been for them.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
oh, sorry,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go finish your thought. Finish your thought.
I was done.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree. Very much there. When it comes to like talking about this game in general, though, like I feel I almost feel like a lot of people are downplaying a lot. Um, I feel like the tier list and everything when it comes to this game is like a lot more condensed than people really give it credit for.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
like, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No, I was to say I agree. Like I know I have like some gripes about certain characters in the game with the matchups that I play. With me being a Zeta main. Um, some matchups are much harder to approach than others, in my opinion, for her. But she still can fight very well for the most part. And, there's been other players out there, like Real Ice, for example, who's really shown like what Zeta's true potential has been. Mago as well, has been maining Zeta for a while now, and he's put in work with her. So, she has her abilities. To me, and I think you said it best with the balance update that's going to be coming soon. We don't know when exactly because they haven't really announced like an actual date of when this thing's going to come out.
Right.
I think I'm leaning more towards what you and I, had discussions with about it and everything, where it's just maybe some tweaks here and there that we would like to see with characters, not like an overall like complete balance shift. Just like tweak a couple things here and there with certain characters and everything, and then I think things will be good.
Yeah, like I don't want them to go too crazy. I just really want light changes, if anything, because like I said, I think it's in a really good spot right now, just overall. Um, and I don't want to see them break any character's legs, right? Like
Mm.
there's frustrating characters for sure. I don't think anybody truly enjoys fighting like Charlotta, for example. But I don't want to see that character get nerfed to the ground, right? I don't
Right.
want to see I love watching Grand play. I don't want to see him nerfed to the ground either, right?
Hmm.
Or Cat. But instead, I'd rather just see them, adjust a few things here or there, um, and really bring up some of the quote unquote weaker characters. Um, and really, all they have to really do for a lot of them is like a couple of frame data tweaks here or there, maybe like just a hitbox, hurtbox situation.
Right.
I don't really think they have to like kill any characters.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, obviously maybe some damage adjustments too, like, especially Catalina. I know that, like, a character a lot of people like to see, like, a little bit of a damage nerf to, because
Mm,
she can really, she can definitely deplete a life bar with, like an anti-air 2H, it's a counter hit, or even, like, her bee stinger that gets, like, a counter hit wall bounce, and then you're losing 70% of your life off that if she has the resources. But I mean,
my own
outside of that, though, I mean, like, I'm in agree. I'm for the most part, I am in agreement with you. Where like, I don't think there is a character that is not viable at all. I think they all can have their own shine and moments. It's just at this moment, some maybe get it a little easier than others. But
Yeah.
also at the same time, that's always been fighting games in general.
Yeah, my only pushback to the damage nerf thing is like maybe on like some of our mid screen stuff, like sure, maybe tone that stuff down. But in general, this is a pretty high damage game, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if you get a bad jump in, like if you're just jumping for no reason, which is really dumb in this game because anti-airs hurt. Like every character is going to, not every, but most characters are going to deal like 60% with all resources. Like,
right.
It's a simple anti-air confirm, it's a hit super or something like that. And you just die. It's same thing for like corner situations where like, oh, I'm sitting on a whole lot of meter. Like 80% of this cast is just gonna like melt your life off of like an overhead counter hit or something stupid, right?
Abyss says don't nerf the damage. And Abyss is a Catalina main as well, so don't nerf damage, buff everyone's damage is what he says.
Yeah, like they don't really have to nerf damage because I feel like damage is already high in a lot of instances.
Like I wouldn't say like.
It's really like the mid-screen confirms maybe that you can tone down a little bit, but
yeah. But when I say damage nerf though, I don't mean like completely nerf it to a ground. Like maybe adjust like maybe a pro rate or something like that. You know, like something along those lines because there are certain starters like if Cat gets like a big counter hit or something like that and the ground wall bounces you and you lose 55-60% off that, like I would say like just a proration of like maybe like 5% or something like that, which in the long run isn't really that much of a nerf, but it still kind of normalizes it a little bit. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's tricky because I feel like again, if you're sitting on a ton of resources, it's just like hit Super Skybound art, you just lost 70% regardless.
Right. Yeah, right. Well, and Sentichi said it best. He doesn't want another, not another BB tag. We already got one.
We do already have BB tag. That is true. At least give 2 hits until death, not 1.
Right. Exactly. All right. So, yeah, I mean, and obviously, like I said, that's things we could discuss, like another time, because, I mean, we could spend all day on talking about the top tiers and what needs to be done with them. But like I said, I kind of wanted to focus on like the characters that don't get a lot of shine as much outside of the top 4, and I decided to start with Narmaya, and this is a character that you play, that's kind of your main right now. Just kind of give your thoughts on what you think Narmaya is and like where she shines, like what are her big strengths and everything.
So I like Narmaya a lot. I actually think she's pretty good overall. I don't think she's necessarily weak. I don't think she's top tier. I think she fits somewhere right in that middle. Like if we said this game was like S tier, A tier, B tier, like she would probably be like on that lower end of A, right? I think she has. I think it just takes time to put a lot of her tools together because she has 2 different movesets, right? You have sheath stance and you have like unsheath, which is like what Dawn and Flutter stance, I think.
Yeah,
I'm bad with names. And in each of those stances have different uses in terms of playing neutral with that character. So you have her sheath now, and if you do like her 5H, it's a really good button, right? And she steps forward with it too, right? So that's a really good long-range counter poke. Like you get a lot of counter hits with it, and then that leads into command dash, into EX slashes, right? So she has amazing corner carry. When it comes to corner, she has high damage output. Her mid-screen confirms aren't that deadly. But again, it does give you a lot of counter push. Yeah, similar to that, but then you get into like big classes. Yeah, those. She, I think in some of like the, like against Lancelot, I think is kind of difficult. Characters where she, kind of like fast moving characters, they can kind of like dance around her pretty easily. I've been playing Naru against Lance, against Jeff locally a lot.
Oh yeah.
And it's really hard to get any sort of ground against them, but like once you do get one hit, you can kind of lock it down pretty easily. I think Mistfinder, if they were to make any changes to Naru, I think it would kind of center around Mistfinder, in terms of either giving it a little bit better recovery or maybe the B version faster start, something like that. Give it a little better frame data, because right now it's great asterisk. it's very easy to punish. It's very easy to roll through, jump over. It's not a move you can really throw out very often.
Yeah. I feel like with the misfinder, like you were saying, though, like I kind of treat it like a fireball just about because of like the recovery of it. It feels like there's fireball recovery to her misfinder.
Not really though. B version maybe, because then she can act afterwards. But that A version, honestly, like if she ends her string in misfinder, her turn is done.
Well, I'm talking about like if like not like the not like just in string or whatever, but like if people just like throwing it out or something like that. I feel
like poking with it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, like treating it as a limb, like you would like Rita's fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the recovery on it is so much that it's like it's really easy to react to. I feel like, or at least that's the experience I've been having here playing against a lot of these guys, where it's just like they're so used to seeing it or knowing when she wants to throw it out, and like the range isn't as long as you think it is. So when you're in that like. So when you're kind of like
it's about 3/4 screen.
Yeah. Once you kind of know what to look for, you can kind of either like on reaction jump over it or roll through it and then kind of end her life. So you got to be really picky about where you place it. So I would like to see some adjustments around that, be it either I don't know better block advantage or something. But let's see how that goes. Her sweeps really strong. Yeah, that's so good. She actually she low profiles some things like fireballs of that nature. It's a great starter because again you can go in command dash and get flashes. Her 5B is a really good counter poke tool as well that has a lot of range to it. I think she has strong buttons, honestly. I think her buttons really only lose to like Catalina and maybe Asterisk Grand. But
yeah,
you can play around Grand.
Now, the only other thing to kind of keep note with this character too, is that the ranges on her normals do change when she does change stances. So, like, her longer range normals are definitely when she has the sword sheath, which is her Dawnfly. And then when she has it unsheathed, as you can see, the range is a lot smaller. I kind of like compared it to as being like her she stance is more if you want to play the footsie game with her, and then when you get your opportunity, like you said, if you get the counter hit and then the dash in and everything, going into the
slashes.
Yeah, the slashes. I was trying to remember how to do it.
Yeah.
That's your opportunity then when you're in your, basically with the sword out now and everything. That's more of your rush down style where you want to just kind of, just overwhelm with trying to frame trap in this style and everything.
Yeah, because not only does the distance change, like her normal is completely different, her frame data is very different. So when she's unsheathed, she has way better advantage. Like her 2B is plus like 2 or 3, something ridiculous like that. So you can do like a string like 2B, like slight step back, do 5C. And that catches a lot of people if they try to counter poke from that range. If you do unsheath 2B. Yeah, that. Yeah, 2B, then walk slight back, 5C. That'll catch a lot of people trying to counter poke. And then you go in for damage and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, her 5C in that stance as well is really strong too. It's really good at lift punishing. So like if you're playing against like who was I fighting against? I was fighting against so Jeff picked up Zeta pretty recently, so I was playing against him the other day.
Oh, okay.
It turned into a fun counter hit game of 5Cs. So like if Zeta throws out a 5C, Naru can counter poke that on with pretty hard.
She's got the lingering hurt box
and stuff. Yeah, it's really good for that because it's very quick normal as well. Her 2B in that stance as well is an amazing anti-air, probably like one of the best anti-airs in the game, next to like Cat.
Oh, her
2C,
her 2B,
2C,
yeah,
2C.
yeah. I was gonna say yeah. Her
2C,
2C
yeah,
is her 2C
That
is really good.
that is amazing because then you can do 1/forward whiff and then you get like a beefy punish. Yeah, and then you can link 5C afterwards or 5B if you want to keep it simple. Going on for combo stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, really the whole gist of Naru is just knowing when to be in what stance, at what ranges against what character, because it's different for every matchup. Like I find that against like La Diva, right? Kind of sheath stance a little bit more. Like 2B harasses La Diva really hard.
Yeah.
What I found. There's other matchups, like I'm blanking at the moment, but there's other matchups where I want to unsheath more. Just because I can play the normals are kind of like slightly faster, and I can kind of play the whiff punish game a little easier. So it's a case of like I feel like a lot of her matchups are just like so different. Like you have to play them very differently, as opposed to like if you play Catalina, you kind of play every matchup aside from like Fairy the same way. Where you play Gran, you kind of play every matchup the same way, right? But with Naru, there's so much to each matchup that it's just really difficult. So I feel like that's a big reason why people are kind of down on her, and it's almost, I hesitate to say, not worth it, because like for all the work you put in, she's still like not the best character in the game,
right?
But she has some juice, right? Like she can win, she can fight against every character. So
yeah, and the other thing too, her close proximity 5C. If you get the counter hit with that, you can go right into another 5C.
Oh yeah, but you're kind of not gonna get that though.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Unless you do like maybe like a 2B unblocked in 5C, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It's all based off spacing
and stuff. Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, she can get creative with her routes and her combos and everything. I've heard some Narmaya players, I don't know how you would feel about this, or if you've heard the same thing or whatever, but some Narmaya players say that they would like to see like an icon underneath her super bar or stuff like that to show like which stance she's in. Because I think some players get confused on which stance that they might be in the middle of stuff, and they just kind of lose track.
Yeah, it's really easy to get lost where she is, especially I find that I get lost whenever I either drop a combo or maybe in like a long block string, like someone is pressuring me, and then I kind of forget what stance I'm in, because sometimes it's really hard to see her actually, because they have to sort out and block with it because everything else is happening on screen. So then I'll go for like, oh, I know I can punish this. If I can punish this with a Flutter 5B, right? But I realize I'm in Dawn. And then I'm like, oh, well, I just screwed up and then I died. So having like a gauge or something would be really nice. I would appreciate something like that, just like some sort of indicator. It's really easy to lose track of where she is or what stance.
Yeah, because it is 8 special moves that you're having to keep track of and everything. You mentioned how you were playing against Jeff, and a couple weeks ago, you and he did a set on the online editions that we're doing of Tuesday Takedown.
I'm still mad I dropped a combo. He shouldn't have died.
Nah, it was right down to the wire. Cats, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? One thing I noticed that you would do a lot, and I don't know if it was just matchup specific. You were in the free flutter stance a lot in that particular matchup, and you really enjoyed using the DP in that set. Like, I was kind of caught off guard with how much you were using her armor DP in that matchup.
Yeah, I gotta think back to it, honestly. I actually don't like using the armor DP that much in that matchup, so I actually have to go back and watch and see what's going on with that. Only because So that particular DP loses to lows and throws.
Right.
So like
it might have been the end ball one then.
Yeah.
Like I just remember there were a ton of DPs.
I mean, you have to disrespect Lance though. Like you can't just let him run his game, right? You do have to keep that man honest because he will just snowball you.
Yeah, that's hard for Zeta. But you know,
yeah,
we'll discuss that later.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so you, like I said, it's a weird spot for her, right? Because I've seen a lot of people have her be on kind of like the lower side of the spectrum, as far as the, you know, quote unquote tiers go and everything. But as you were mentioning earlier, you're actually pretty high on her. You actually put her in like the grouping below the top 4.
Yeah, like I don't think she's bad at all by any means. I think like the amount of work you put into the character may not be like the best use of your time, maybe. Like I don't think you get like the amount of work you put in doesn't equal the amount you would expect to get out of a character like this, right? Kind of think about like Guilty Gear with Johnny, right? Like how he has a high ceiling, like execution barriers and stuff like that, but also he's the best character in the game when you master all of that stuff. Like she doesn't have that sort of thing going for her, but I do think she is pretty strong. I think if this patch came out with like subtle nerfs to the top tiers, I think she would just by proxy end up being like one of the better characters, right? I think she's in that spot. Because like I said, she has good pokes. You just have to know when to be in what stance and where. It's just being aware of all of that stuff. She has fantastic damage overall. Like mid-screen, not so much, but again, she's really good at pushing characters to the corner. Her pressure isn't like the strongest. Like she doesn't have like too many crazy mix-ups or anything like that. Really, you kind of just have that basic high-low throw game. But so long as you have real good understanding of like neutral frequencies, she's got some fucking buttons, man. She's pretty strong. I think where Naru tends to fall apart is really like if she loses the life lead hard and the other person just decides to like turtle up a little bit. I think opening people up becomes kind of a challenge because then you have to take super hard risks, right? So that's when you start seeing Narus do like command dash moonsault, right?
Yeah.
Like tries to take, which can be anti-air free. So you see her start to jump in a lot, right? Because if they're not throwing out buttons, then like you kind of have to find a way in. So anybody that decides to like really turtle up on like a life lead, it kind of becomes a struggle there. But so long as you're patient about it too, they'll crack eventually. Right?
Yeah.
Just don't overassert yourself. You know, just kind of be patient with her. Because I feel like with all the tools she has, she's a character like you immediately think like, oh, I gotta be like hyper aggressive, right? I could do all these stance switches, I could do all these special moves, I gotta go. And it's like, nah, man, you just gotta like chill out a little bit, like be patient with her.
Just kind of streamline the game plan a little bit as far as what you want to do with her.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I think she's in like that A tier-ish range, probably towards like the lower portion of the A tier range, maybe. Like that's up for discussion. I really don't really care for like physical, like numbered placements when it comes to a tier, but she's I think she can fight every character. I don't think she loses hard body to like any matchup. Honestly, like at worst, I think she might have like a 6-4 in there. But,
yeah,
that's winnable.
Katz is saying that he would like to see, I guess, the moonsault / be an overhead.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Then that would give her an instant overhead.
Yeah.
Which sounds pretty silly. That would be on some bike and shit. So yeah, maybe do that. Maybe just give her better advantage on it overall. Would be kind of cool. I mean, unless you hit it pretty deep or just right. Really
so in other words, you guys want Ukio's Tsubaki. I see.
No, I want Baiken. So yes. Yeah. Good character out of 10, I think.
All right. Yeah, so you have her as a solid A.
Yeah. I do.
All right. So, yeah, like I said, I I know I've fought my share of Narmayas, and like I know the only time I've struggled with her is if like they're just rushing in, going ham. But kind of like the same thing you were describing about Narmaya, where like if she loses a little bit of a life lead, she struggles a little bit. It's also kind of like the same deal with Zeta in that sense as well. But
yeah, then you gotta take risks to make plays, and then it's like that's where things start to kind of crumble.
All right, so let's go ahead and go into another character that you spent some time with, and that is Lwane.
I love Lwane.
You actually, I mean, you spent a lot of time with this character. Like it's funny because like I know you, like in the beta, both you and I played Catalina, and I know you were kind of looking at Catalina, but then you started messing around a bit more. But you spent quite a, like I said, quite a bit of time with Lwane as well.
Yeah, I think that character is super fun. I just from like a personality standpoint, I really like Lwane. He's very goofy. Him and his homies.
Oh yeah,
Just
he's definitely the joke character for sure.
yeah, and his animations and his movements, and he has Catalina bot. So I feel like me and Lwane kind of like we're bros spiritually, right? But the character overall, it's funny thinking back on like before the game came out, everyone's like, "Oh my God, Lwane is broken, right?" And then he comes out, and everyone's like, "Nah, he's actually trash."
Yeah.
Which I mean, he's definitely one of the characters where I'm not too high on. Like we talk about this game in balance a lot. How I always say like every character is pretty viable. Like they all got some juice, and Lwane's the exception there, where it's just like if you understand how to fight him in terms of like dealing with Yggdrasil or dealing with this other super, he completely falls apart.
Yeah.
Like his normals aren't really that strong. They're actually quite stubby. His best normal being like 2B, 5B, right? And even like 2B doesn't really have the range you think it would. His 5B is really slow as well. So it's not even really like that of like a poke. His 2U being a slide is really great. It low profiles a lot of things, but also if you take a look at the distance that it goes, it doesn't go very far.
No,
right?
It's not like Lancelot's 5U, for example.
Yeah, it's not like Lance's, so it's really hard tool to use in a lot of different instances, right? When you want to do a fireball, because no one's really going to throw a fireball from that range or do like a normal that you got low profile, really. So it's tough there, and then when he does get the hit, he can't really convert into much. Like the best he's gonna get like mid screen is gonna be like a far B into like slash or EX slashes non-counter hit.
Right.
And at that point, you can set up like a Catalina bot and get some pretty cool Oki. But to convert off of that Oki, you now lost your EX slashes, which then it's like he can't really convert into much else. So he kind of struggles with like a damage problem unless you get a really cool, clean corner hit, like a corner overhead counter hit or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're saying too. Like, you want to be careful when you use that EX Rekka move basically for him, or the EX multi hitting special for him, the 2-1-4, because if you don't get that corner, well, you're without that move for at least 4 seconds, and you got to figure out how you're going to change your pressure in that regard too.
Change your pressure or change your hit confirm, right? Because it's like if you use EX slashes to get that mid screen confirmed, and now you open them up in the corner, what do you convert it into? Nothing, because now you have nothing that causes the juggle state or anything like that. You can't combo into Bros, or you can't combo into Catalina Summon. So at that point, it's like, well, I guess I can find a way to turn this into a knockdown, maybe. Not really, unless I just did like raw counter hit overhead slide.
Right.
So I feel like he's really lacking in those confirms to really be much of a threat. So if you don't have good like neutral tools, and then you don't have good converts off of them, what do you have left? Like You know.
And the other thing too, which I know you shared this with me when we were playing our matches, you know, when he's, you know, trying to pressure, right, with his which one's block here? Hold on.
Oop. That left. Up. Left.
Oh, left.
Nope, that was random. Right? That one. You gotta make him crouch though.
Oh, okay.
There we,
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, that's where I was. So one thing you were mentioning here too, with Loane, right? When you're doing a block string with him, right? Except for that one. If he calls like the bros or like his the Catalina bot, you could actually get poked out, you know, with a fast normal, which interrupts all that. So like literally the only thing he could do to do a block string to be, you know, the frame trap would be just a light slash or whatnot. But at the same time, at the same time though, like if you block that entire thing, he loses his turn too.
Yeah, he has that. Like his other frame trap you're gonna see a lot is like a crouching L and like a 5M or 2M or something like that. That's kind of it at that point, and then he's either gonna try to summon something or do nothing. Either way, that's your chance to advance forward, right? Just be mindful if he does summon bro, you might not hit him or hit the bro. So like, just keep that in mind. But otherwise, that's kind of like your turn to act like his. So his strings are actually pretty short.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was trying to show a little bit there. I don't know if I did it right or not, but like he doesn't have a lot of moves that keeps him, you know, advantageous to where, you know, he can frame trap in that regard too. So you can kind of play patient against him and just react to what he's doing.
Yeah, basically. Just don't get caught up in his game or don't get thrown. Because, like, okay, so one of the biggest things about Luane is he has an unblockable setup, right? So you do, like, throw in the corner, summon EX bros, and then immediately go into open. Or I think he can do it off of sliding knockdown as well, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think off knockdown for sure.
Yeah, which is, like, the scariest thing that he has, because that is a good opening to get really high damage with this character. But if you think he's going to do it and your character has a DP, DP that setup. That's not a safe setup. Then, of course, then it becomes the mind game of is he going to do it or not. But I think at some point you actually can react to it. You'll see the little flash of it flash overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to be afraid of when it comes to the character. I hope... this is one of the characters I hope that they do adjust in some way, be it give him more opportunities for knockdowns, do something with the bros to make him a little more useful, just kind of in a neutral sense. But yeah, I really don't know what they're going to do or what they can do, because it also seems like a fine line, right? Because you think about like Catalina Bot and her special moves and having these assists built in. Very easy to make this character insanely good.
Yeah. Kind of falls under, I think, under the same deal as like Lancelot, right? Even though it's a completely different archetype, that's a character as well that, you know, one slight, you know, change can really, you know, dictate how he's going to perform in that regard.
Yeah, you can easily make or break that character in one small change. But I hope they find a good middle ground for Luane, because again, I think he's a super cool and fun character. He just doesn't get to shine much.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Up next. All right. Here's a character that I want to kind of showcase a little bit here. Because...
I'll talk about Percival.
Yeah. I have seen so many fluctuating opinions on this character, and I'm at the point now where I don't know what to make of him. Because there are some people that put him in kind of like the bottom part, but then you have other players, Kizuke, for example, who has him as being a top tier character. And it's kind of, I'm trying to think of any other character that I've seen where opinions have fluctuated that much for a character.
Versus Beelzebub.
Like I've been trying to think of that, and like no other character has come to mind where like I've seen a group of people say that Percival's a top tier character, and I've seen others that say that he's at the bottom. So like I don't know what to make of this character because of that.
I've been saying from the beginning, I think Percival is pretty strong. I don't think he's a bad character at all, honestly. His buttons are really good. Are you kidding me? Like, his neutral game is really solid. So long as you're not being, like, mindless about it, right? So long as you're not flowcharting. I think he's got really good neutral tools. I think that 5C is a really strong counter poke. I think his 5B as well is really, really good because like he does that like that step forward a little bit, so like it has a little bit more range than you think. When stocked up, this character does really good damage just out of for nothing. So like you can do I don't know the notation for it, but you convert into that one command hit, right? Where it just like shoves the sword in your chest and pushes you back, right? Yeah, that. Like you get like clean converts into that mid screen that does like a decent chunk that either lets you A, push your advantage, or B, just let you stock back up, right? So like Percival's a character where like once you get one hit, one knockdown, you stock up. You're pretty much going to keep stocks for the rest of the game.
Right.
There's at no point where you should like not have stocks because you get a clean hit, you get a knockdown, you get more stock. Right. It might be a struggle getting that first hit, but again, he has good neutral tools. Like if you jump in on Percival, like his anti-air game, that shit is great. That shit leads into a shit ton of damage too, because then he gets like the little command dash forward into like a cool confirm. Bro, his fireball is like an unconventional fireball, right? It's not used in the same way as Gran or Catalina, like it's not meant to be insane fireball game. But like in terms of sneaking it in there for pressure, it's really hard to spot dodge. You can't roll through it. Like if they block it, you're at an advantage. You can use like the enhanced one to just get more. It's really annoying for characters to deal with, and then of course when they're looking for it, that's when they want to jump over it or do something unsafe to get around it, and you cap it. I think the character is a really patient character. Like he holds his ground. He's kind of like a moving wall, really, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're not going to overextend yourself or push your advantage too hard, like it can be tough for some characters to really get in on him. Like if this is a character where like if he gets a life lead, like it almost reminds me of that Guile like holding down back and then you gotta have to like jump at him, right? He's kind of that, like he gets a life lead, he kind of sit on it because then you have to take a risk to get in on him, and any hit just leads into a shit ton of damage, especially if you get those crispy like links that he has.
Yeah,
Percival's got some of the coolest combos in the game.
He does, definitely. The only like I think he is a character you do have to get used to though, with what he likes to do. I think the wall example you brought up is a good one, because for me anyways, like me personally, he feels very stiff.
Yes.
As far as the way his character is, very like, I wouldn't say slow, but like it's just it's just something that you have to get used to, especially if you play characters who have had above average mobility and then everything, and then you go and try to play Percival, you're gonna notice that like his movement is gonna be a lot more sludge feeling than normal.
Yeah.
So there's an adjustment with that when it comes to him.
Yeah, I feel like some people maybe try to play him too aggressively, right? And that's not what he's really meant to be. or at least that's what I don't feel like he's really meant to be. I don't think that's his strong point. And he has a command grab. Like, holy shit, they gave his character a command grab. It has really short range, but again, when he's kind of pressuring you in terms of like fireballs and harassing you in the corner with some big moves, if he sneaks that in, he gets a full convert. You know, he gets some pretty cool damage off of that.
Yeah.
To knock down just the hot up into more bullshit. That's just like another tool we have. It's a character that has technically everything, right? You technically have a fireball, you have a command grab, you have strong normal, you have a pretty good sweep as well that goes pretty far.
Yeah, his sweep is very good. I will say, like, of his low attacks, his sweep is definitely a go-to.
It's pretty good.
I wish there was a little more range on his 2A though. Like,
yeah, but you have 5A, right?
You
like,
do.
Yeah.
I'm looking at more like the lower, like, crouching attacks. But yeah, his 5A is very solid.
Yeah, his 5A is great. And he can link like 2A, 5A, DP, right? It might be like the medium one or something like that. I think he can also do 2A sweep, right? Something like that. I know he has easy ways to get like that sweep knocked down off of like 2A. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, I understand. I think why people think he's a bad character, maybe because they're thinking about him in kind of the wrong way or the wrong context, right? They're trying to make him something that he's not.
Right.
But if you play him in terms of just like being a patient player, just being like you're okay with playing lame, I think that opens up a lot more opportunities for you.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like, you know, the example I brought up was like people that have said that this character is actually really strong. You know, Kizzy, for example. I mean, you look back at who he played in Guilty Gear, which was Sin. I mean, that was his entire MO with how he played Sin, you know, with being completely neutral based and everything. So he's probably taking those fundamentals that he had with that character, applying them to Percival, and that's why he's been able to be pretty strong with him, you know?
Yeah, and I remember watching that Kizzy video where he goes over his tier list, and I don't know how serious he is, or if he's trolling, or if he fully believes it. I won't go as far as him to say like Percival is S tier. Like I don't know if I would put him in that same category as Grand and Catalina. But I don't think he's far from that. Like I think Percival is a character that would just. Again, he's a character that, like, if they nerf Grand, Catalina, and Fairy, like, even just slight nerfs, he is a character that will just shoot up with really high toxic, right?
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't be much else to so I think he's kind of, like, hovering right outside that, like, top 4 range. And if they just strictly nerf those top 4, I think just by default, he becomes one of the best characters in the game. I think a lot of people are just kind of blinded by Fairy, Grand, and Catalina.
Yeah,
really?
I think there's something to that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Because that's really the reasoning I hear out of a lot of people. It's just like, but then I gotta fight Grand, Catalina, and Fairy, and it's like, well, yeah. These characters kind of have a lot. You kind of lose those 3.
Yeah, you're talking about damage, by the way?
Oh, Percival racks up fucking damage, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, I just showed an example there.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. I've seen all sorts of wild confirms out of this character. Both mid-screen and corner. He's got some juice.
Keep missing this link.
Love
I mean, that right there already was like 45%.
Then you have like the mind games with when it comes to like the command dash, right? If you're sitting on stock, you have the one move where he just does that command hit, right? Where he just launches the thing into your chest that guard breaks. That move is really good, really quick. It catches people trying to counter the dash. Yeah. So if you do get to a point where you kind of command people's respect a little bit, that's when you can kind of like afford to take another risk for example, an empty dash throw. You go in with the low, maybe sneak in that overhead that is plus. You can put that in there every time, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that you want to like sort of autopilot into, because obviously there's answers for each of those options that he
Yeah,
has.
you basically have to condition your opponent
Yeah.
to be ready for
Yeah.
those, because there are gaps where they can be mashed out with a fast normal or even an involved move that can interrupt it. Like, it's very much a conditioning tool.
Yeah, but if you're standing at like, if you step back like a couple of steps, like if you're standing in that sort of range, like maybe one character length back where you're currently standing, like that situation for Percival is so good. It's so good. Unless you're fighting against Fairy, because then you get first base. But it's so good in that range.
I definitely think that, like, for Percival, Fairy is probably the toughest matchup for him, because he's got to be able to pick his spots of where to go in. But I think against everyone else, for the most part, he could definitely hold his own pretty good.
Yeah, like I don't think he, like, I wouldn't go so far as to say like Gran or Catalina like a 7-3. Right? Like I wouldn't go that far. I will preface, I am not a
Accidentally lost send for, there you are. Yeah, my Discord. Yeah, my Discord acted up for some reason. You still able to see the screen and everything?
No, you got to share the screen again.
Okay, I'll share it again.
But yeah, I think so long as you're smart with how you play, first of all, I think you can fight pretty well against a lot of the characters.
All right. Well, let's see. Who do we want to go over next?
I hear Vasaraga is winning tournaments.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Vasaraga though. I know I had Diver on a previous stream, and we talked about Vasaraga a bit. The only thing I know with him is basically just be armored up as much as possible.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. The name of the game is to armor up.
Yeah.
And fishing for that armor can be difficult. It can be tricky. A lot of times you're banking on the opponent to make a mistake so you can capitalize it. He's got some pretty good long range normals, right? So like people can't just haphazardly whiff stuff. They got to be really smart about what they do.
And he's got a decent anti-air too with his 2C, which can lead into a huge amount of damage.
Did my man say decent anti-air?
You get what I mean.
Yeah, don't jump against Vasaraga ever.
Yeah,
don't do that. But yeah, he struggles kind of in that long range. But if he sneaks in one good armor up and gets one good read on that shoulder tackle or a standing C armored up or something like that, he can snowball real quick.
Yeah, it definitely can.
Absolutely,
for sure. I don't know, is there a character you want to look that you want to look at?
We can go wherever. I mean, I saw you hovering over Zeta. What you got words? You got words on Zeta?
But I broke down Zeta so much already.
Oh, okay.
Just overall synopsis of her. I think she's very solid. I think I think of all the characters in the game, momentum is the biggest thing for her. Like, to me, she is the momentum character. When she gets going and she's able to get her game plan going effectively, you mentioned how it could snowball with Vasaraga. It can definitely snowball with Zeta too, because of her movement options, her ability to bait out like anti-air attempts with her, dive spear and everything that she does. Like, she to me is, whereas you want to play solid with a lot of characters, you can do that with Zeta, But where she shines the most is when you do play a little bit of a risk reward with her, because of her ability to just keep momentum going and just overwhelm. There are times though where there are certain characters that can play like a wall, where she does struggle against, Catalina being an example, as well as Fairy. But that's just also the nature of her tool set as well as what she has. I kind of compare it to Guy in Street Fighter 4, right? Or just Street Fighter in general, where he had like his run attacks and everything. Like his move set in general was just risky,
Right.
with what he had, and I feel like it's the same with Zeta. Strongest projectile in the game. I don't think there's any debate with that, because of the fact it's a laser, and even characters that have to use an EX move to, compete with that, well, you're losing the fireball game anyway, because she still has hers, and now you don't have yours for at least 4 seconds.
It's full screen, and she can hold the B version or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
she can.
So,
she can.
Like, you can change timing on it.
Right.
So it makes spot dodging or rolling through the laser, or even just kind of jump over it, very annoying. But yeah, definitely best fireball projectile game.
Yeah. Her only negative to me is when she loses the momentum, or she has to play from behind, because when she has a life lead, you can back off and force the opponent to do stuff, because she does have a solid 2C. I still kind of wish the move maybe get tweaked a little bit, because I don't know how many times I've lost to a Charlotta jump A, where I've tried to anti-air it, but like the hurt box extends first before her hit box becomes active, and I get hit out of my anti-air attempt. So that's one thing I would like to see fixed, because of that. But when she has to start playing from behind, and having to overextend herself, kind of the same thing that you said with Narmaya, I feel that's where she struggles, because sure, she has, her EX armor, which is active frame 1, but follow-ups can be easily baited out. Her C follow-up is her fastest one, but mid-screen she really doesn't get anything off of it other than just resetting to neutral. So I think that's the only drawback with her, is just like, because of how her tool set is and what her skill set is, where there is risk automatically built into her move set to begin with. Like, you have to kind of play like a control frenzy with her, if that makes any sense.
No, I think I can follow you down that road a bit. She does have to take more risks if she's trying to get in. But I also think she has like quite a few safe ways to harass people.
She does.
Taking advantage of like her stuff like that to throw off anti-air timings and things of that nature. She can like kind of make plays happen. She's a character that actually has pretty solid neutral game. Like, her buttons are pretty alright.
Yeah.
And I really struggle to. She's one of those characters where Arc is gonna fuck around and like buff her for no reason. Like, they're actually gonna like make that character this, because I don't really know what you give her, honestly, that wouldn't make her insane.
Yeah, like I said, I think the only
maybe like that 2C change, maybe.
I think that's the only thing I would like to see change, is just like readjust it to where like her hurt box doesn't extend so far up that when you try to anti-air properly, you still lose to a jump in attack.
Right.
Yeah, like I can't count how many times I've lost to a Charlotta jump A, or even like some jump A's in general, like Gran and even Lancelot, where I tried to anti-air, but their hitbox, which is still out there with that move, will catch my hurt box before,
Right.
It just it's just rough.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Cats. I don't know if we want to give her a Dragoon jump like Mai. I don't know about that.
God, why? No. Cats, I sent you an FF7 theme. Don't do this to me. I will say, just to kind of cap that, I think Narumaya versus Zeta is one of the most fun matchups I've probably played in this game.
Oh, it's a fun matchup.
I enjoy that matchup a lot.
Yeah.
They both want, they both really want 5C. Like, the ranges that they stand at is virtually the same. And Zeta's 5C is actually slightly better than Naru's. It comes out faster and hits a little further. So it's a fun baiting game in neutral.
Yeah. So Tenchi said if that was given to her, that he would main her.
Yeah, absolutely he would.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Sora's and Jita right around the corner.
Yeah.
We might actually be getting them Monday night, actually, since we have the Japanese and Hong Kong versions.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'll have to turn on the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Check them out.
So
Let's see if I.
Yeah, and I know for the Tuesday takedown, the online exhibitions we've been doing with Leaderboard, I know I already let people know that, look, they're exhibitions. We're gonna let them rock. We'll let them play. Yeah. You know, people get hyped for new characters, so
absolutely,
especially those two characters, Sora's and Jita.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, who else do you want to look at here? Is there anyone else that kind of catches your eye?
We can go Charlotta or La Diva. Either.
You know, let's do La Diva.
La Diva,
because I think she is a character that is gaining more and more recognition with how solid she actually is.
I think she is one of the best designed grapplers in a really long time. And not saying like she's the best grappler ever made. Like, I'm not saying like she's overpowered or anything like that. But I think they found a really good balance for a grappler to be good, but not overwhelming. They gave her some really good normals. Like her 2B is a really good really long range button. Her far L as well. Her far M is really good too. She gets great converts from a lot of that stuff in terms of going to like EX headbutt or if you're standing lariats and stuff like that. They gave this character a lot of tools, and then by nature, Grand Blue's system mechanics in general being like spot dodge and roll opens up a lot for her too in terms of dealing with fireballs or long range normals that maybe have like a lot of delay behind them. You know, you can spot dodge and stuff like that. Her converts are insane.
Yeah, she's definitely got one of the the most fun confirms I think we've seen as far as like what she's able to do.
Yeah, they're pretty wacky looking too, right? Where like she gets like lariats and drop kicks and into, you know, rider kicks and stuff like that. Like, she's wild, man.
Yeah, like that, for example.
Yeah, yeah, that's really fun. When she gets a knockdown, you know, her command grab mix-up is legit. A lot of the times, if you don't have reversal ready or anything like that, it's just a legit guess. It's a legit 50-50. Like, you can't mash out of some of her setup. If she does two headbutts, right? She's neutral. If she does one headbutt, she's plus. Yeah, that can hurt. So anytime she gets like a crouch M, like a far range crouch M, she can like confirm or just watch into EX headbutt, and that's your infinite right there. Right? Is she gonna stop it too? If she stops it too, is she gonna command grab, or is she gonna like hit a button to catch me trying to jump out of the command grab? Either way, if I guessed wrong, then I'm eating another 40% into another mix-up.
Yeah, she definitely has some really cool tools to work with. And I think as well, like, we mentioned the general mechanics. I think that, like, to me, La Diva and those matchups with her, to me, they are like the knowledge checks of the game, right? Because La Diva players have to depend more on the general mechanics than I would say that, you know, the majority of the cast. Because she doesn't have an invol reversal outside of like meter or anything like that. You know, she has to depend more on the fundamental aspect than I think, you know, a lot of the other characters do in the game.
She does. The only thing about using the system mechanics, like you're right in that to use them when necessary. You will note like her role is pretty short in comparison to a lot of other characters.
Yeah.
So there are situations where like it doesn't work as well as other characters would, but she has it. She has a role option. You know? She has a way to deal with fireballs or long range stuff like that. So you just got to be smart about using it, but it's another tool. Her 2M is an actual low, which is wild. Because you'll notice like there's a lot of 2Ms in the game that aren't actual lows. So having a long range low is really strong in this game, especially for a game where so you can't run and block in this game, right? You have to run and commit to either a roll or a spot dodge. That's something I probably could have talked about a little earlier too, in terms of like playing neutral in this game, and why characters like, you know, Percival and things like that might be a little strong in that neutral aspect, because like if you catch people dashing, they have to commit to a follow-up in order to stay safe. You know they're going to do that, then it becomes a little mind game. But yeah, having that long range low just catches people trying to either walk back or dash forward.
Yeah, and it leads to, like, even from long range, like, leads to so many different confirms that you can get.
Yeah, and all those confirms lead to knockdown, which leads into a legit 50-50 guess. To which next confirm, if she's sitting on the meter, you die. Or close to it, right?
Yeah.
So I think she's really strong. Her anti-air game, 2H, one of the better 2Hs in the game.
Yes, that's the Alex from Street Fighter V. That's the Alex anti-air.
Yeah.
That thing hits.
Charge.
Yeah, that thing hits everywhere, just about. Like it even hits behind her.
Yeah, I would love to see a hitbox view on it, because I really don't think she has that much of a hitbox on it. Like, she can do that pretty late against a lot of jump-ins, and it still connects. So I would be very curious to see where her actual hitbox is in that animation. But either way, like, she needs it, right? You got to stop people from and if you're on point with that, she gets a clean ass convert as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to show an example, but I'm missing it. I don't play Ladiva that much.
Yeah, you would have to hit up Chris and get the hot confirms.
There it is. Yeah, so that, for example. Yep, hold on. I'll get it here. Nah, I keep missing the... like that.
Yeah, something like that. I know she gets way more too.
Yeah, look at that. That's just a simple confirm that took 40, almost 50% off an anti-air right there.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of room to improve that and get way more. I struggle to think what they should really give her. I actually don't think she needs much of anything.
Yeah, like that, for example.
Anything at this point would just be icing on the cake for her. I think she has every tool she needs to be very effective in this game. I think players have shown that off. If you watch like Native Impact or
Silent's another one that's really that's done really well with her.
As well, yeah. Watch Koji.
Oh gosh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, watch Koji play. It's always a fun time as well. Very strong grappler. Very strong grappler. Yeah. I think she's perfect where she is.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like to me, I don't think there's really any changes you need to make with this character. You know, it's a pretty effective game plan that she has already, and the fact that, like, yeah, I mean, just the confirms that she's able to do is insane.
I think the only
Oh yeah, she also has an air command grab too.
yeah, the only like iffy thing about her is like her 5U is whatever, which is like the bear hugs.
Oh yeah. I
That,
think
like,
that's
yeah,
definitely one of the weakest unique
yeah,
actions.
yeah, the deer in headlights scenario, 37 frames startup. Yeah, if there's one thing I would like to see across the board in terms of a balance patch, and I forget who I was talking about. Maybe it was Adrian I was talking about this with. Is I would love to see like better better uses of characters 5Us, like their unique buttons, because I don't think a lot of them really get a ton of use. Um, and I would like to see that kind of shine more.
Yeah, there's certain characters I think.
There's certain characters that just don't really need to use it.
Right, but there are characters I think that do utilize it more than others. Like I would say Zeta's 5U, to be able to like create spacing and in your block string with that, and then be able to bait out like a width normal if someone wants to react to spacing or whatever, is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think everyone's is bad, but I do think there's a lot of characters in this game where like the 5U is kind of
it's kind of eh.
In regards to everything else in their toolkit, and like that's supposed to be the unique button, right? That's supposed to be the button that really sets this character apart,
right?
And it's kind of a shame.
Like for example, in Blaze Blue, they're like the drives or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like it really defines that character. So I would like to see maybe some changes around that button for a couple characters.
All right, you brought her up earlier.
Charlotte.
Oh, I love Charlotte. I love this character. She's so fun.
I think people have started figuring her out more. I know this was a character that was giving me headaches, but I've started to see some of the things that I can use against her.
She's annoying. Capital A.
Yeah.
Right. She's like a lot of people get overwhelmed, I think, by her pressure. And as you said, I think a lot of people are starting to warm up to like the answers to a lot of that stuff. Like, you know, when the game came out, we let Charlotta get away with a lot of stuff because we didn't know the game, right? We didn't know what our options. So everything felt really overwhelming because her pressure is so straightforward. Like her game plan is so easy to figure out that it's just like it's very easy to get overwhelmed by, oh, she's in my face slashing all the time. She has like the fastest run speed, so she's always in your face. She has a demon flip with several different options off of it, so you kind of get you get caught up in her momentum, her pace, and it's hard to kind of simmer down. But you'll realize things like slashes, right? She tries to like block string into like B hands or EX hands, you know, spot dodge BP or something like that. You'll notice like demon flip, anti-air it. Like anytime she wants to hop in the air, just fucking stick a normal out or neutral jump or something. Like you can hit her out of demon flip, right? That's the key thing. Like every character might have a different button that they need to do for it, but once you check her on demon flip, then it's kind of like, now what does she do?
Right.
What is she at that point? Blanco balls? Like, all right, you know, don't get too careless with dashing towards her. You know, maybe walk a little bit more in this matchup because she's gonna want to throw it out. In characters, it's tough to punish. Like she has to really, you know, do it in the wrong way or the wrong strength to really get a good punish off the Blanca ball, but it doesn't do that much chip. You know, you can kind of just walk her to the corner if that's all she's doing.
Yeah, and the other thing to keep in mind too is you block it, it becomes your turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. Be very, very careful because a lot of Charlotta's gonna want to do like Blanca ball, EX Blanca ball, right? Or Blanca ball DP, right? This is one of those characters where like you want to hit buttons, right? And you have to be aware that your opponent wants to hit buttons. So sometimes the best thing to do against Blanca ball is nothing, right?
Right.
She's probably gonna want to hang herself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was to say. Like, she's a character that you definitely want them to hang themselves out to dry. with that. And I mentioned earlier how like Zeta, just her moveset, you know, has some risk built into it. It's definitely the same with Charlotta as well. If they're gonna just, you know, demon flip, you know, full screen or just demon flip wherever and stuff like that, and if you're playing patient and you see it, yeah, you can hit her out of it and make her definitely pay for it. But she's definitely, I would say she's definitely the most aggressive play style in the game because of her tools that she has.
Yeah, she's very aggressive. She is constantly in her face. She's one of the few characters where she gets away with AA auto combo pressure. So just like AA stop, AAA, right? Or AA stop, BBB, you know, things like that. Yeah, that string, right? She's one of the few characters that really gets away with that. And I don't even think it's technically plus. I think it might be even or something like that. But she's so fast that it's like, she has so many other options, like you're waiting for hands and stuff like that, that she like steals her turn back a lot.
Yeah.
And that's very frightening when she's in your face.
Also, yeah, her unique action, the parry, it's an okay tool for her. But a couple things you got to remember with it. It's not active on the first frame. So like you can, you know, meaty that or even like bait it out and stuff like that, and it will still lose the throws like that. And something that someone else told me that I never even realized. I'm gonna test it real quick too. Someone said that she actually takes damage when she parries too.
I believe so, yeah. It's the same as Catalina, where she takes 50% of the damage.
Oh, I see. So like the ice wall, basically, it just negates damage.
Yeah,
but she still takes it, but it's not as much.
Right, she still takes it, not a whole lot. Like I said, it has its uses here and there, but overall, like its activation range is actually kind of short. So like characters that have long range normals can like actually trigger it, and then she doesn't do anything, right? So she kind of runs into that problem. It's not that great of a reversal or anything like that. Like I said, it's very specific uses. Anti-air situations it can be used for, right? Things of that nature, but it's not something you gotta toss out very often. You were doing her stand C, by the way.
Yeah.
That button is really good. That is a really good whiff punish tool. Because, like, look how far she steps. She's got some big ass legs for a tiny character.
Right.
Like, she's almost going half screen with that normal. When you get a counter hit EP combo into EX Blanc Ball Wall Bounce Death. Yeah. that button's so good.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much damage I did. Jesus.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful about whipping buttons around her because she always has that in the tank. Her anti-air game is a little weak. Like I said, you can do parry, you can do DP. So I guess we will talk about her upcharge, I guess.
Yeah, and that's why you mentioned her anti-air game. I was doing her 2C, and I was like, wait a minute, that's not it. I didn't realize that up animation is actually her close 5H. Yeah,
close 5H. And sometimes you'll get that out. Sometimes people opt parry, but you know, always rely on old faithful DP, right? Kind of hit that neutral shortcut button and get that down charge. Which I think that is probably the most annoying move out of Charlotta, right? A lot of people had trouble dealing with it before or punishing it before. It is punishable. So it's the character where like, hey, go into training mode, figure out what your punish is for Charlotta DP. All versions of it and from different ranges.
Yeah.
Because there are ways where she kind of skirts away safely. It's probably the safest DP, like the light version. Safer DPs in the game. Yeah, that one. There's some really beefy punishes with like the medium and the heavy ones too, where like you block it going up, you spot dodge it going down, and then you get like full punish. Or you can even flat out anti-air her coming down as well.
Yeah.
So if you're people that kind of know those punishes, then it kind of makes Charlotta second guess herself. And
Yeah.
once she starts second guessing herself, that's when like she falls apart because
Yeah.
she wants to go wild.
Yeah, that one singular game plan that works so effective with her, once it starts to crack, it's like, uh-oh, what do I do here?
What do? Then you start seeing an increase in blockables.
Yeah, you do.
What watching a Charlotte just kind of like fall apart is kind of funny.
Yeah. But I mean,
Something
that's just with the character, though, right? I mean, because of like all the other stuff that she has.
Yeah, her jump A, you mentioned it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of jump A's in the game, it stays active forever. This one has a really good hurt box, a very short, a very good hitbox, a very short hurt box, right? It's kind of tricky to anti-air. Some characters kind of struggle with it. If you see it, then you have DP it. It's very, very annoying. You'll often see her jump in with that and try to get back in, but as long as you're aware of it, you know your proper anti-air for it. That's one of the things you want to shut down. So really, the key takeaways when it comes to like fighting against Charlotta is shut down her air options, like keep her grounded, and then you don't really have much to worry about.
Yeah.
Her EX slashes are +1 block, so always be aware of that.
She could always link a 5M and a Blanca ball as well off that too. So
yeah, she can convert heavy off of it, but also be aware if she doesn't have block string, she is plus. So it's kind of just wait it out, you know. At that point, she's probably going to want to do a far normal and then take a risk, right? So that's generally where you'll see like a demon flip come into play. You might see a Blanca ball follow up behind it, or she might jump afterwards. That's kind of like that spot where it's like, okay, she's going to do something, now it's my turn to react. Speaking of demon flip, she has everything Akuma has, right? She has a low, she has a command grab, she has a high. But again, the moment you see her leave the ground though, throw out that anti-air.
Yep.
Or else this happens. You deal a lot of the damage. God, I love Charlotte. Strong character overall though.
Yeah. I know a lot of people had her as the top tier. Now I think she's kind of fallen in that, you know, slightly below that tier. But she's still very strong.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. She has like the fastest run speed in the game. Like she gets in your face. Look at that, she's there.
Yeah, like the little pitter patter run too.
Oh my god, she's horrible.
But yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, that's a character that I think a lot of people will have figured out to fight a little better. But she still is very strong. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a character that just like, again, she has all the tools she needs. So long as you play solid with her, like she's really, really.
All right, let's see. All right, so we went over Narmaya, we went over Ladiva, Charlotta, Zeta, Basaraga, Luane, Percival,
Terra, and Beelzebub.
I do not know a lot about Matera outside of the fact that she just wants to shoot a bunch of arrows at you, and you have to get it on her to really suffocate her.
Yeah, that's basically it. She's that heavy zoning character, right?
Yeah, but her movement is also something to kind of watch for because of her unique action being the short hop and everything. Like we were talking about unique actions, right? And how some characters don't really use it a lot. Matera players have to use her unique action.
Yes, it is critical.
Yeah, it's like critical. Trying to get it, utilizing that and having an understanding of how that works is paramount.
Yeah, and I think it's very easy to look at that character, and if you come from like Guilty Gear or something like that, or even like Marvel, right? Because again, you kind of see that short hop, and you're just like, I get free high lows, huh? And not think about the fact that you can get anti-aired for doing that short hop. So you got to think about where you place it. But the cool thing about that short hop is you can go forward or backwards with it.
Yeah.
And that's the key when it comes to playing that character, right? Where it's like you're baiting out normals, you're baiting out anti-airs and stuff with that.
And
but,
it's also,
I mean,
it's also a deal too where it's like, if you're grounded, you can use that unique action twice. Like you mentioned, doing like a front back or a back front or
Yeah,
whatever.
you
Whereas
got
if
to be
you,
really slippery.
yeah, whereas if she's in the air, you only have one use for it.
Yeah,
I still think she's a really, really solid character.
I think she's solid. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you really want to utilize your movement, know when to like show like your zoning and everything. She has high arrow, she has low arrow, um, like a rain arrow basically. Her Oki when she gets knocked down is really good too because of the butterfly setups that she's able to utilize. That could really rack up damage for.
That racks up chip damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a character where you can actually talk about chip damage when it comes to like block string or when it comes to like Oki situations and forcing them to eat a meaty butterfly, right? Like you just watch their health kind of melt away. And then if you notice they blocked everything, that's your cue to like peace out.
Yeah,
right.
You reset the neutral back to your favor.
Reset the situation. So long as you don't get overzealous and do too much stuff, right? You kind of keep the opponent kind of guessing on how to do it. I do think her mid-screen confirms are a little on the weak side, right? A lot of times she's really just confirming that EX arrow to push in the corner.
Yeah.
She doesn't really get much off those pivots. She really struggles with anti-airing. I think that's one of her biggest problems when it comes to doing, what is it, 1C, 2C, right? So,
yeah, 1C being the arrow that goes more like vertical, and then her 2C is a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, and that unfortunately, like that doesn't cover everything, and a lot of times you have to make that split-second decision of which one do I use. Oh, and then you realize neither one actually works when they hit that like magic angle, and then also realize neither of them are arrow block as well. So
yeah,
it's really hard to convert that.
Yeah, really her only reversal is when she has meter, and that's her only reversal. But even
she
then,
doesn't. This character should not have a reversal. I'm gonna tell you, don't give this character a reversal.
Yeah.
Because then you end up with a fairy situation.
Right. Yeah.
Like the fact that her reversal is tied to the meter, like that's fair. I don't think she needs a DP, but like at least giving her a better anti-air or a more reliable anti-air would be a cool start for her. But I do love watching like Nash Fan and Sonic Soul when they play and they hit that counter hit arrow and they're able to do the leap confirm. Like arrow and then leap corner carry, like that confirm tight. But also really hard and really specific in certain areas.
Yeah, you have to be on point to be able to get those high maximum damage combos with her, because especially if she misses one and you recover, it really can switch on her very quickly. But yeah, she's definitely the Grand Blue version of like a bullet hell character.
Yeah, and I almost feel like she's in that same situation with Narma. Like the level of skill that you need to have is pretty high, and like what you're getting for it doesn't quite match the amount you have to put in to make work, right? Like it's not equal. But I still think she's a solid character overall. Just probably a couple changes here and there. Her close range pressure when it comes to like 5B, 5B is plus, right? So you do kind of have to hold that. Her 2B is also really good as well. Like that has a lot of range to it, surprisingly. So that's a really cool poke. So she's not completely fully dedicated to zoning. Like she has some okay-ish mid-screen options, but obviously that's not like her strong suit.
Yeah. It's
right. Yeah, medium. She does get that, whatever, to which she can convert. But again, knowing when to recognize, alright, there, overcommit to then die.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is knowing when to keep that pressure going and then when to back off and reset with her.
Yeah.
Super important for her.
She does have a far screen slide. Well, pretty cool. It's really hard to make that safe, honestly. If you even get, like, max tip, maybe, but like.
But you see how much range that is, though. Like, I mean,
it goes pretty far.
Yeah, it's definitely bison slide.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
you catch people on that.
Yeah, you can definitely get caught off guard by that if you're not looking for it.
Yeah,
and I know there's been some situations too where I would think she's trying to zone or whatever, so I like try to jump to try to avoid that, and she just slides right underneath me, and then it's back to resetting the screen, situation or anything. It's just like, dang it, really?
Yeah, it's almost like a movement tool, right? Like, you jump, slide under. It's like, all right, cool, bet I'm over here now. And sometimes put the other person in the corner because of it.
Yeah, that does happen a bit too. Yeah, but yeah, no, I agree. I do. I honestly find, like, I hated the matchup at first, but now, like, I actually have fun with the Zeta Batera matchup.
Yeah,
because it's very rewarding to get it on her and then suffocate her.
it feels really polarizing at first when you don't understand how to fight against her, when you don't understand when to use your rolls or when to use what angles to approach her at. But once you kind of slow it down a little bit and you understand what stuff, I think that matchup is really fun.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into
Catalina.
The one character I think everyone is
I feel attacked.
Calling one of the demons of the game.
I feel
attacked.
Miss Catalina.
Sawashiro. Man, this character sucks, right? Am I right, guys? Remember, hey guys, remember when the game came out and everyone, man, Catalina's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, she was a C tier.
You remember that time? Those are great times, right?
Yeah.
Man.
I remember we all, like, when we saw those, we were all like, what are they saying? There ain't no way in hell this is a bad character.
What? She's the worst character in the game. Twitter told me that. No, obviously Catalina is one of the strongest characters in the game. Her buttons are the god.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to yeah. Alright, that's the one you start with. 5C. That, but the amount of range it covers, like the fact that she can convert into like anything EX stab into wall bounce. That button's probably gonna get toned down, I imagine. That's gonna reduce like the but yeah, just like a really basic fundamental character that's blessed by having incredibly strong tools and plus normals.
Yeah.
You like her go-to pokes being, 2B, 5B. Both have excellent range. 2B is not a low, but I mean, the joke obviously is like, but she's all mids, right? But the fact she has options off of those mids is what makes her scary, because it feels like her freshman.
Yeah, she's definitely the mid dispenser of the game, but like you said, the fact that she could just, keep characters at bay with these normals, the fireball pressure is gapless, so you have that to worry about with her. She's a character that does not have to overextend. Like, she can just play like a wall, and she just gets that one hit, and it's game on with her.
I would argue that's the most effective way to play Cat, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to overextend with this character at all. That range you're staying at, that's where you can play. Just kind of chill at. It's up to the opponent to work around it. And the fact that she can use her resources, like her confirms, right? She has so many different ways to confirm into high damage combos. And for very little meter usage. So you talk about like her pressure, right? So like if Grand is in the corner, he's blocking, and you do like, I don't know, 5M, 5M, 5B, your turn technically for a lot of other characters would be over, right? But then she cancels the EX Fireball, dashes back in, and now she's in your face, right? And then if she does score a hit, she's not checked out of damage because at this point she can now confirm an EX thrust for a wall bounce, and then you die.
Yeah, and then also I was showing it a little bit earlier, but like
Yeah.
But like, you know, she can get a basic confirm like this. Or, you know, if I got the sweep, it would have scored knockdown. And then she gets an Oki situation off that.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like, you can get it even better confirmed. Like, you can dash in after that fireball and get like 5H into shenanigans. I've seen some fun BBP loops that she has. It's really cool. Yeah, the fact that she has those confirms, she gets so much corner carry off a thrust as well. So you're always in a situation where she's gonna get max damage.
Yeah.
Right. Almost always. She has a really fast DP, really good. Her sweep to you, one of the better sweeps in the game. She goes really far again. She can cancel it, confirm it to get a stab or fireball. You like EX fireball, I think. It depends on ranges and stuff, but either way, like,
yeah, I think it's up to close.
Yeah, there we go. Either way, man, like, she has so many different ways to harass people. I will say she's not unbeatable though. I think that's kind of something to really address. Oh yeah, her jump U. Oh god, that's getting toned down. That hits so far down, dude. Like, it almost hits the character when she's at like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Very, very tricky anti-air.
I think honestly, as far as jump attacks go, like, I thought Grand's jump U might have been the most ignorant button, but now I think I'm starting to lean towards like that title going to Catalina.
I think they're both pretty ignorant.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think one is particularly more ignorant than the other. I think they're both ridiculous and easy. But yeah.
And then of course,
yeah, 2H anti-air. One of the stronger anti-air, she can cancel it into 5D focus cancel forward, basically. Focus stack dash cancel.
yeah.
Into max damage. So she like dashes forward, get a 5H. And then depending on positioning, you can either immediately go into super, you can go into thrust as you saw there, EX thrust if you're near a corner, or it's like the wall bounce. Again, just so many different ways to convert. It's really overwhelming.
Yeah, look at that. That was mid-screen too, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But again, like, the character is not unbeatable. You know, she's definitely incredibly strong. She overwhelms a lot of characters, but it does take a really good player in terms of like having really good fundamentals to really make this character shine hard.
I think, for example, like, I know Abyss is in here, and he plays Catalina. I think a prime example of like a fundamentally strong character would be, you know, I'm gonna use Guilty Gear as an example. Kai, for example. Like, if you have that type of background playing those type of characters, you're gonna make Catalina work for you incredibly well.
Yeah, you're gonna go really far, a lot farther than a lot of vets that don't really understand how to play the game. A lot of her buttons do have lingering hurt boxes though, so if she is just kind of like, for whatever reason, just whipping things for no reason, you can counter poke her. And that's really important. Like, I stress that's really important that you take advantage of those, because you're not gonna get a ton of those. And you have to make every one of those situations count. So in that situation there, like, Grant could just 5H, 5H loot, and hit her for that. So if you're playing against Catalina, like, that's what you have to train yourself to do, is to take care of those whiff punishes and make those hits count.
Yeah.
It's tough, it's tricky, it's hard. Like, I'm by no means making that seem like it's easier than it is, but there are answers out there.
There are. But she is definitely. I honestly probably have her
Character select.
either being. There's a part of me that wants to say that she's best character in the game because, you know, you don't have to overexert yourself and you can play really solid with her. Like, if you just have a solid foundation with her, you can win any match basically. So there's a part of me that leans to making her best character. I know there's obviously other characters like Fairy and Lancelot that have arguments there too, but I honestly have Catalina right there too because of just there's so many pros to her and maybe one or two cons, which is just the lingering hurt box and stuff like that.
I don't even think those are cons. I think those are very important things to have in there. I don't think that's necessarily a con at all, because that's almost the name of the game. Because boxes,
right. Well, I'm just saying like if there's a negative to pick out with her, that would probably be the only negative with her.
Yeah. Like if you talk tier list and being the best character in the game, like I kind of lump S tier characters just all together. I think arguing which one is particularly better than the other kind of moot, because I think they all handle each other pretty well.
You end up splitting hairs for the most part.
Yeah, you split hairs unnecessarily. But I do think if you go in terms of just like matchup spread, I would say Catalina is probably the best in that particular like frame, because she doesn't lose any matchup. She doesn't lose a single matchup.
And that's kind of where I lean to that. Is that I think she just overall just does not lose matchups at all. I think I lost Discord again. There you are. You're back. All right, I gotta reshare the screen. My Discord's acting weird. It's like,
yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, like in terms of matchup spread, she doesn't lose any matchups. She probably has the more like good matchups than the other characters.
All right, who do we want to go with next? Let's go Lancelot.
Dang, no Beelzebub.
Are
we saving Bizzle for last?
You want to do Beelzebub next?
No, let's save Beelzebub for last because I think we have different places for that character.
All right, yeah, we'll do. We'll go ahead and do Lancelot here. Chief Golden Ramsey, it's me. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? All right, so Lancelot. We talk about characters that just has like natural risk built into their moveset and everything. This is Jeremy. Is this Jeremy?
It might be.
Oh.
What's the name?
Chief Golden Ramsey.
Oh, that sounds like a German name. That sounds like a dingo name. Breaking the fourth wall. Do me a favor. Minimize your Discord window because it's like blocking.
Oh, is it interrupting? My bad. Sorry. Yeah. All right, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I just had to put that in front. So
no, you're fine.
So what's up, man? How you doing, dude? You doing all right?
Man.
Yep.
I would love to play Jeremy. I haven't played Jeremy in a long time.
I don't think I've played Jeremy in this yet. I'm scared to though because he plays Lancelot.
Yeah. I fight against this character a lot. Oh my god, I've racked up more games against Lancelot than I think any other character.
Yeah. All I do is mash 2-2. Yep, that move.
That's it. You want to talk about a fucking mix-up game on his knockdown? We could talk about some 2-2-C. We'll get to that though.
Yeah, we got the 2-2. Also the Gorilla Blade. That's been called now. Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what they're calling it. The Gorilla Blade. 6-6-C.
All right. Sure. Why not? I mean, there's truth to it, right? So go back to that range that you was at. For the six. Yeah, so anytime Lance is there, like takes very special note. When he's there, he is going to 6-6. See, every time, all the time. Don't question it. Don't think you're gonna be slick and then dash forward at him. Like, just recognize he's gonna do it. So just be mindful of that and watch for that when you fight against Lance. Just take special care for that distance. Very good tool at that range. He is either neutral or he's plus depending. He already has some of the fastest normal in the game, so he might as well be plus. So that's kind of his ticket in. And if he does get the hit, you see that confirmed there that he does. If he gets it anywhere near the corner, he racks up pretty good damage off of it. It's a really good starter. More annoying for him. You saw his slide earlier. Goes really far. It's super fast. Can be very safe depending on where he does it.
I think it low profiles some things too, doesn't it?
Yeah, some things. It does go under fireballs. It does go under some normals as well. So you have to be very careful when he's kind of at that range because he'll throw it out there.
Yeah, Jeremy saying yes, fireballs. It does.
Yeah.
I remember throwing out trying to throw like a Zeta projectile, and Lancelot's like, let me just slide underneath.
Boop. Slide under them DMs, man. Yeah, that's one of his best tools. I feel like personally.
Yeah, it's a good tool. One other thing to note with Lancelot, and it's also the same with Narmaya as well, which we didn't go over. Both his far 5A and his 5L and his close 5L are the same input, or the same animation. He does not have a proximity 5L. Because, like, when I was first fighting Lancelot, right? And I'm sitting there wondering, like, why are they just mashing the hell out of 5L? Like, because I would just see, like, a bunch of whiff 5Ls and everything. And, like, so I went into training mode to check out some things and everything. And I was like, oh, that's why. They're trying to see if they got the proximity or not. Because sometimes, like, the spacing's weird on it. As far as, like, trying to get the proximity.
Yeah, both him and are both characters that just from max range off that light, like you go straight into auto combo as well, or at least from a far enough range or something like that. Yeah. So that's really often why you see them whiff it a lot, because they're looking for that auto combo confirm, which is really useful for him. His 5H is a really good button, as well as his 2H. Both can act as anti-airs.
I think his 2H is one of the best anti-airs.
2H, yeah. What was his close 5H? What was that one? Okay, nah. I was thinking of something else. But yeah, his 2H is a really good anti-air. His far 5H is a really good poke. Yeah, that one. That button is really good. He's a character that has Rekkas as well. So his light Rekka, when you space it out properly, leaves him pretty plus. And I don't even think it's technically plus per se. It's more like of a range deal or something like that. So where like you really can't hit a button afterwards. So the mix up becomes, is he gonna do a second Rekka, or is he gonna like take that opportunity to hit a normal behind it or dash in or something like that? That's where it gets really scary when it comes to lance pressure.
Yeah, Jeremy's saying it's plus if you space it right. He thinks it is.
It's actually plus, not just space and deal.
Yeah.
I know there's like some arguments over that I've seen. Either way, it's still his turn when he spaces it. Like, don't try to challenge him, please. Yeah, man. His teleport game is really interesting. Lances that just kind of like raw teleport out of pressure and strings, like, first and foremost, a lot of that stuff is not real, right? You can hit him out. So be aware of that when you fight against the Lancelot. But when he does score that knockdown in those particular setups where he does get, like, you know, those tricky left rights or the wall bounce, stuff like that, that can be really tricky to deal with, because it could be a high, low, left, right.
Right.
His jump H, multi-hitting right, is normal.
Yeah, it's jump H.
Yeah, so now you're guessing between 1 and 2 overhead hits. That it's man, Lance it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest when fighting this character.
Yeah, man. Speaking of like his wall jump, that one I'm still trying to figure out. So like I've had situations where it's really hard to like hit him out of wall jump scenario. So that's really tricky.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is his option for getting out of a corner or out of a corner situation where it's just like, oh, wall jump, go over whatever your far-reaching normal was, gets the counter hit. Really tricky to deal with there.
And as you can see too, like he can alter which way he wants to go off of the wall jump too. Because you could just teleport back down like that, or just go right back in that way too. So like, it's one of those deals that you have to react to what he's doing.
Yeah, and that can be really tough because he's doing a lot. His fireball is really good. I don't know if you showed. Yeah, the EX one in particular, where it's multi-hitting. You want to talk about Kai from Guilty Gear? Like that just holds him in place for him to get high lows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I also compared it to being like Leo's fireball too, where it's like super slow startup, but like very minimal recovery after it's out.
Yeah, a lot of the tools out of him. His reversal game is in some ways the scariest out of a lot of characters, and Jeremy is probably like cracking up right now. So it's a situation where 2-2C has control, right? And then outside of his teleport, he can do either air normals or the teleport or what have you, right? Obviously, you can anti-air that, so woohoo. But he has the option of doing the Helmbreaker follow-up, right? Which Helmbreaker is fully involved, and on a counter hit gets ground bounds, and as you see there, damage. So when you have a Lance that gets knocked down, it now becomes a mix-up for you in terms of, all right, I see him do the EX teleport. Is he going to commit to this unsafe option, or is he just going to get out of jail free? And then now he's starting to get pressure because.
Trying to see if I can get this full confirmed to show an example.
I mean, you just end up bending it stupid, so it's like. But yeah.
Well, you could also like he could also throw out like, you know, in your recovery, throw out like his fireball and then go back into his mix-up.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of Lance players. They'll end their combos short. They'll do like a 5B or 5H or something like that. Cancel the fireball so now they can reset the situation. Or they'll go into meaty overhead, universal overhead, which would end up being +1 block or comboable if he gets a raw hit. So that's really where his mechanic comes from. Or you'll see what, 2A or 2B enders as well. Yeah, there's so many different ways to just like change how he ends string or drop combos early to catch you off guard to reset the situation.
Yeah.
Scary character, man.
Yeah, and
really
especially if he gets that overhead and it's a counter hit overhead too. And it's just like, oh great. That's he's gonna rack it up too.
Yeah, counter hit overheads in this game across the board is the scariest situation. Like when it comes to the throw game in this game, take the late tech, if anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't be so quick to tech throw, because like eating that overhead counter hit, it's so bad. It's so bad for every character.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's better to lose that little, 8-10% off of a late tech, and you're not going to die from it either. So
you're not going to die, or hit a button as well, right? I know there's a couple of options that's out there. If you want to learn more, really just go for it. But whatever you do, don't try to break the throw. That ends up being overhead. Worst thing you can ever do.
Yeah. Now his regular super does not do a lot of damage. Especially at the end of a combo, it will scale horrifically. It's one of the least damaging supers in the game.
Yeah, that.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's really not going to be your combo ender, like normally, unless you know it's gonna kill.
Right.
Again, it does scale really hard. That's really good for, like, let's say your cooldowns, you're low on cooldown, and you just get like a single hit confirm.
Right.
You'll do something like that, or if you know it's gonna kill, or if you do his SSBA to punish a fireball, something like that. Like, those are those uses for it. Outside of that, like you said, it is some of the lowest damage in the game. You just don't want to end long combos with it.
Right. And you mentioned his SSBA, right? So this move, you can change the trajectory of that move too. You can either make it a short one like that, by holding down light during the animation. Medium puts it about half screen, and then also if you do the full screen, just hold H. The thing with that move too, by the way, is if you block it, he's safe. You have to spot dodge in order to punish. Now, I have seen something else though, where like the full screen variant, I've actually seen him get hit out of things on that. Like, he loses invul.
Yeah, you lose
like
invul partway through it.
Yeah, because I threw out I did Zeta's B projectile, and I held it down for a little bit, and I saw him do the super, and I'm like, oh no, I'm about to hit. But as soon as he dived, the beam came out and actually hit him out of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm safe.
Yeah.
So it's not a fully invul super.
It's not, but I will say that particular situation is so few and far between.
Right, yeah.
I do not recommend trying to air or even trying to counter hit that super. That is like a freak accident scenario.
It's not worth the risk. It's just better to, like, if you can't react to it with a spot dodge, just go ahead and block it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can spot dodge after the fact, right? You can match spot dodge right there. It's not a situation where, like, you have to hold the flash. So just be mindful of that when you forget it's done. He's a character that, again, has, all the tools you need, really strong buttons, really strong mix-ups. There's a reason why he's in that top 4 range. Just very annoying to deal with.
Also, his jump L is really good, too.
Yeah, it stays active forever. I think really what trips a lot of people up is that 660. I think that's kind of like the crux of everything when it comes to character. Understanding what range he wants to be at to do that. It's very similar to playing against Gran in some ways, where, like, he wants to get into that range for brute entry, right? Recognizing that and recognizing what your options are against that, either being try to stay outside of it, or try to catch it and neutral jump it, or spot dodge it or something like that. Being very quick on your reactions against it is really important, or baiting it out so he loses access to it really will hinder him.
Yep, I mean, that's pretty much Lancelot in a nutshell. I mean, he is a character that when he gets going, we talk about momentum characters. Lancelot is definitely fits that archetype as well.
He snowballs hard.
He definitely does. So that's Lancelot pretty much. Let's see. I know we're saving Beelzebub for last.
Beelzebub.
Gran or Fairy?
Fairy, because I love Gran. He's myself.
All right.
I like Fairy too. I like every character in this game. They're all fun.
Gron.
Fairy, the character where you have to guess a lot. Not just on knockdown, but in neutral. This character's a lot, guys.
Coliseum.
She is a lot.
Character's a lot. Not unbeatable, but this character's a lot.
Yeah. I think probably the biggest gripe with the character that I've seen everyone voice, I think 2 gripes with this character. The fact that her EX DP is fully invol, and her sweep being as good as it is.
I think those 2 things are accurate. A character like this probably should not have a DP in any sort of fashion. It's cool to have that quote-unquote DP as like an anti-air or something, or a combo filler or something, but it should not have it. That's a lot. That 2D that we were talking about, that 2U, the sweep, that's so strong. 1, the range. 2, the recovery is quick. So trying to like counter poke it is pretty difficult for a lot of characters. And just the fact she could just like throw that out a lot is wild. Playing the obstacle course against Fairy, so like she has her 5B, which has a lot of push, right? She has her 2B as well. 5B, 2B is an amazing string. It catches people trying to roll, spot dodge, and so long as you're not flowcharting it up, like you'll throw out a 5B, you realize, hey, they want to try to dash in, roll in, so you tag them with the 2B next. Either of those hits can be confirmed into like EX whip, right? And then you get very mixed up stuff. Yeah, and drop GG and do all the cool stuff there. So it's really like getting in on her, trying to use the system mechanics. Like she really goes against a lot of the system mechanics, I feel, when it comes to playing neutral. Because it's flat out, either it doesn't work or she has 1,000 ways to just deal with it or react to it. It's really, really hard. That web swing, oh my gosh. That makes it so hard to anti-air.
I was about to say, like, I think as well that she's probably the hardest character to anti-air in the game because of that.
Yes.
You don't know where she's gonna, land on it, because she can change her momentum with it.
Yes.
She also can like cancel out of it immediately. Like you get hit with her jump U if you aren't ready for it, because you're trying to predict where she's gonna go. She also has pretty good jumping buttons with that too. So like, I think she's the hardest character to anti-air in the game for me personally.
Web swing, jump H is so hard to deal with. Web swing, jump light as well is really tricky because that comes out very fast. And also, as you said, she can cut her momentum short. So now you get to a situation where she's baiting out anti-airs or baiting out a response and then punishing the whiff. Right? Once the fairy starts implementing that stuff in there too, then it's like you can just forget about trying to, unless you want to just DP. But again, DP, she cuts herself short, and then
you're gonna take you're gonna take some damage from that and everything.
Yeah, so movement with her is kill it.
Yeah, and then of course we talk about GG. Get him, GG.
Yeah, GG has a hitbox going up. That is also another thing. So if there's 3 things, the fairy, it's basically GG hitting on the way up, her 2U, and yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is, if GG, like, talk about GG. Oh yeah, GG hits, but look, it can still be active too. Like you still have to be wary of wherever GG is.
Yeah, GG stays out. She keeps going, like, really tough. It just becomes really tough to just get in on her, because so long as she's not, like, she's, again, I go back to autopiloting because I think a lot of players tend to autopilot their characters a lot. If you're throwing out like a 5B, right, and then you kind of like wait a little bit to react to see what they do, because now it's on the opponent to like guess what you're gonna do. So are they gonna try to jump in, or are they gonna try to roll through, or whatever? You're not so quick to cancel into something all the time. You can just 5B, wait, okay, anti-air with 2C, or catch the roll with 2B or sweep, you know. She's a character that's just like has so many different ways of just like controlling the pace of the match. Really tricky.
Very much so. And then, yeah, normals are really good.
Her 5H as well. That's really good. So you can do 5H or even 5B as well, and then spot dodge cancel that to where like now she recovers a little faster. Yeah, she recovers faster than she normally would. So now you're guessing whether or not, okay, is she gonna do whip? Is she gonna do GG? Is she gonna do nothing? And it makes it that much trickier to get in on her.
Yeah.
Because then she can just kind of react to what you do.
Is GG the new Elfelt grenade? That's what Jeremy asked.
Yes, asterisk. It's not as... I hesitate to even say it's not as bad as Grenade. I really don't think it's as bad as Grenade, but it is this game's version of Grenade, so sure.
Yeah. I think for this game's archetype, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, because GG stays out, it's active. If GG catches you while you're in the air, you're blocking the follow-up attacks of GG. That's a free air unblockable situation for her. Which this character does a shit ton of damage too.
Yeah, and you also mentioned the unblockable setups too, with her DP.
Not even with DP. Like if you block GG in the air, remember the grounded normals tend to be air unblockable.
Right. So like her 2C and all that stuff.
You just walk up and do like close 5B or close 5C or something like that, and then you get full convert. If you have meter that goes into fireball or whatever, just rack up damage.
So one other thing that is unique with this character, she has 2 regular supers. She has Yoga Catastrophe and the ability to become a French bread character.
Yeah, she has. She has that install, which gives her reverse beat. Then you can only use one special move per that whole sequence.
Yeah. So like, yeah, this would be not normal.
Like she can just do 5B, 5A. Or she can do instant jump A into drill. Which means she has a solo way to combo. That install is one of the best supers in the game, I feel personally. It sets up for so much and leads to so much damage as well. So you can do what is it? I think you can do like 5B. There's a situation where she can like throw out GG and it becomes like a true block string because like once GG's out, you block a 5B, you activate super install, you keep it in a block string long enough to where GG activates, and now they eat the next time.
Sheesh.
Right?
Yeah.
So it just leads to so much. Like the character has so many options, so many tools that it's just it's overwhelming, man. But she also dies really quickly.
Yes.
Right? Like she has very little health. So getting in on her and baiting out one kind of ends her life.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like as soon as you get in on her and you bait out her EXDP and everything, you can definitely keep that pressure going because like again, that's her. I mean, outside of the supers, that's really her only invol reversal that she has. So you can like you bait that out, and she doesn't have meter. She doesn't have a way to reversal off of your pressure for a good amount of time.
Yeah. And I mean, again, the argument of whether she should have that or not, like, she really shouldn't. Not for everything else that she has in this game.
Right.
But it is something to be aware of that she does have. I do think she struggles against, like, Lancelot, from what I've seen and from what I've heard. Like, a lot of fairy players hate that matchup, so there are some ways to check her.
Yeah.
And I know Grand fights her pretty well as well as, like, the top tiers fight each other pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of Gran,
my son,
the character that was trained by Ragna the Blood Edge and Soul bad guy.
My beautiful, reckless son, Sloppy. I love his animations. They're a mess. They're a hot mess.
They are. Like,
Coliseum.
Like he is just fucking flailing around. Every hit he does, flailing
yeah.
and praying to God it hits. Praying to Bahamut that it hits.
It's self-taught, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Self-taught S tier.
And the game's named after him too, so.
That is true. This is the Grand Blues.
All right, so
Mm,
Gran. This character.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
Yeah.
Has your fireballs, has your DP, of course, has the Tims. But
I think people are starting to finally understand how to fight against him.
they are, especially since so many people play this character because of his ease of use and everything. So like it's one of those deals is like people have gotten familiar with him now. But he's still very strong.
Yeah, for sure. Strong overall neutral buttons, like his 5B, his 5A as well, really good. Yeah, that move's really good. His 2A, one of the best 2As. Like, everything he has pretty much is plus. You might just assume he has plus on every button. You're showing off the 5H, like that alone is a really good counter hit tool. Not just for getting boot confirms, but just the fact that you can cancel that move so late. You can buffer like super inputs and just like visually confirm into it, like easy. Yeah, that. Or do it from a range where like it's not. Like the only way it would actually hit is if someone hit into it, so you just do the input and the motion anyway, and if it connects, cool. If not, well, you whiff it.
Yeah.
A little tough to whiff punish at times, so kind of a low committal move to just throw out there. His 2U, sweet. Low profiles, break dance.
Yeah, it's like what it is. It's just a break dance.
Yeah,
it's literally it's literally Souls 2D. If his foot had a sword.
Yeah, basically. It has good range. It low profiles everything. It can be comboed into, out to. It's very strong. Bahamut. His jump U as well, pizza cutter. It's very similar to Catalina's. It hits deep cross up, right? That move almost never whiffs. It's not so much tricky to block, it's just the fact that it's really tricky to anti-air.
Yeah.
It's really hard to like get him off the stage. Character has a DP. He has like kind of a Rekka, right? When it comes to like his 214A.
Yeah, 214A, 214A, back B, or so 214A, 4B.
Yeah, so that's a really scary situation where like he'll do block string into 214A, and then at that point he's slightly negative, or he can space it out to where like he's 12B plus. But then it becomes a guessing game of, do you want to poke out or is he going to DP, right?
Yep.
So he instills fear into you. Anybody that play like Street Fighter and you fight against like 10, like you're very familiar with this step kick scenario.
I know Soft and Wet does that quite a bit too.
Yes.
Lewis, like that's one of his go-to things with Grand that he does.
Yes, you will command respect out of it, and steal his turn back. So, God, he has tools. His Fireball is really good. Not as good as Catalina's. Like, he doesn't really change the speed of it at all, but it is a projectile. Very good one at that. His B version can nullify other projectiles, like the side of it. That first swing,
yeah,
can nullify a projectile, and then he throws out his.
Think like Geese Howard's or Rock Howard's double Rapukin.
Yeah, very similar to that. EX Fireball. Very good.
Oh yeah, and then this button.
Oh yeah. The God anti-air. Second
Prob-
only to Catalina's.
Yep, it's. I would say like as far as anti-air buttons go, I think I rank it as like I think Catalina's 2H is the best. Grand's is. I agree with you. Grand's being second.
Closely second.
Yeah.
He gets so much damage off of it. This character just shits out damage. Like, just as much as Catalina.
I thought there was a way to cancel his 5U.
It is. I think you hit A.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
there we go. Yep. So there's some fun
Oh
scenarios.
yeah, you just hit any normal.
So like you could do like 5, what is it, like 5H into U and then cancel it. You know, some silly stuff like that. This is one of the characters where like I want, like, if they tone down a lot of his other stuff, I want them to kind of like do something with his unique action a little bit more, because I like the gimmick that it has where in terms of it levels up, it does more damage, has more properties, like max level 5U has full after a certain frame. So it's really like a fun scenario in neutral in terms of like kind of throw that out, just like counter hit you. But there's no reason to ever use it because he has all these other tools that leads into so much damage. Right? So 5U only ends up becoming, like base 5U only ends up becoming combo filler at the end of the day. There's very little reason to use it outside of that.
Right. Yeah,
So
I don't
what's
see
the
like
good
any
idea?
Grand players really utilize 5U at all that way.
You don't have to. You don't have to. There's absolutely zero reason unless you're just trying to be different. His corner carry game, I feel like, for some reason, I feel like he gets wall bound way farther than any other character in the game. Like, if you think you are near the wall for EX boot, you are near the wall for EX boot. Like, from almost anywhere on the screen, I feel like.
Yeah, trying to see if I can get like a good spot to show. Yeah.
Probably
right
even
there.
a little further. Because you do auto combo into EX boot as well, right? Like, that pushes them back even more, right? Like, his corner carry game is just wild.
Yeah, he definitely can corner carry for sure. But yeah,
It really comes down to that 5H, where it's just like you throw it out there and buffer and EX boot. And like, as long as you're at a set range where you know the only way it's gonna hit is if they throw out a button, you can do that all day until finally it connects and you just get moved. Yeah. That's such a strong tool.
and by itself, it does a good chunk of damage too.
Yeah. Yeah, it do. Yeah, it do. Look at that wall bounce from there as well. But like Lancelot, there is, if he spaces out boot, he is plus. So you're always gonna see a Grand try and get to that range, be it like block string, fireball, take 2 steps back, and then he's at that range. Be aware of that. Like, always be aware of where his boot range is, because he wants to do it. He's going to do it. And then just prepare to kind of counterpose it. He can be hit, surprisingly. Characters do have some options against it, or DP it when you see it at the very least. Neutral jump it. There are ways to deal with boot. Your character may vary in terms of what you have, but understanding what your option is against that goes a long way. So definitely hit training mode for that. But very strong character.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, very straightforward, but super strong with his options. All right, and then the final character we'll look at is Beelzebub.
How do you feel about Beelzebub?
I think he's solid. I kind of put him as a by the way, if you pick the white Ramlethal color of Beelzebub, you're a terrible person.
He has a lot of cool colors.
He does. I like his the other pale variants that look like he's like an Alucard or like a Fire Emblem character.
Yeah.
Back to your question though, I think he's solid. I honestly would put him in the tier below the tops, because he can rack up damage pretty strong. He's got good normals to poke. He has some unique setups, especially with like teleport, and then like certain setups he can do in the corner too, where he can get immediate like overhead setup that can, you know, rack up the damage too and everything. He's also a character that I personally have had issues trying to anti-air because of his dive kick, or like his dive that he does. That like, there's just certain things with him that I think are really solid, like, you know, getting throw, teleporting, and then being able to be plus on that. I think he's got some unique options as far as approaching him and fighting him. I will say, I'm glad his 2M is not a low, especially with how fast it is.
It's fast and goes far.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look at the spacing on these normals. I mean,
oh yeah,
they space out well. His 2C is or 2H is a pretty good anti-air too, especially if you get that counter hit and you can tandem back in and you get full confirms off of it. I think his projectile game is pretty unique too, and it honestly can you know, create a different element for him. Like I think
the fact that he can charge those,
yeah,
is really important.
And they also changed the properties of the move too. Now I know he does have shortcomings, right? Like, so for example, if he does the EX dive, he loses his it's tethered into the same move as his quarter circle back that's grounded. So if he does like the EX variant of that, he's not going to be able to do a high-low mix, or, you know, a low mix-up where he throws out the low, or even does like the EX that's a low there too. So I think he's very solid for the most part. His 5H is also a pretty good button for confirms on him. So like he can get that and be able to confirm into supers. Although it's weird it didn't get the full animation, probably because it didn't hit on the first one.
Yeah, I think max range it has trouble getting
And he doesn't get a lot of damage off super, but I mean it's still a confirm that if they know it's gonna kill, they can just throw it out. Or if they're trying to like you know, just to confirm be used for like cooldown for supers and stuff. I think his 2A is a pretty solid button with it being a low too. It's got some good range to it. I just think he's got some very solid tools. Jump U2 is a pretty good button too, with the wing.
yeah.
His jump H is a good air-to-air. This is the weirdest jumping attack I've ever seen in my life with his kick. Yeah, it's like a jumping stank leg basically.
The cute button.
Yeah, but I mean, I think overall he's solid. And he can rack up damage pretty solid. What's the frame data for the tandem engine? I don't know. It's a good question. Let me see if there's a wiki for Beelzebub.
It's on Dust Loop Wiki. If you
Okay.
want to look into it.
Yeah, I'll look up into it.
But yeah, like so Tandem is at best light version is 25 startup.
Oh, you're looking at it now?
Yeah, I have the wiki in front of me. It stays on one of my tabs.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think solid is a good word for him. I actually don't think he's particularly that strong. Like I'll put him firmly in like that mid-tier category. His DP is terrible. It's pretty awful. It's really slow. You can be cheeky with it if you're trying to look for like gaps in the block or something, but as a reversal option, it's really bad.
Yeah, you'd want to use the ZX version because it comes out faster and it hits
Yeah.
both sides still.
Yeah, he doesn't have a cross up, which is a really interesting thing for this character. So I feel like his quote-unquote pressure is non-existent. This is another character that I feel is very much a wall. Like, me and Jeff talk about this a lot because he also plays Beelzebub. But we almost akin it to, like, he's very much like a Guile of this game in terms of, like, he's meant to be played really lame.
Right,
Or at least that's
yeah.
how we feel.
I think Diver said the same thing to Chase
Yeah.
when I talked to him about it. He said that like he's a character that you definitely have to, you know, definitely play lame.
Yeah, you have to play really lame with him. His offense really isn't anything to be scared of. His dive kicks, while yeah, they're very tricky to air, you can still air to air it. Like, especially the B version, he hangs up there for quite some time.
Oh yeah, I've been able
you
to
can-
air throw him
yeah.
out of it and stuff like that.
I wouldn't even air throw him. I would throw out a normal. This way you get the air counter hit, land, kill him. With whatever your biggest punish is once you land is, be it one hit super or corner shenanigans or what have you. And once you kind of strip that from him, now it becomes a grounded game, right? To which, yeah, he does have good ground normals. Like you were showing off his B series, right? They're really good, but mid-screen, he doesn't get much off of those aside from like one of those kicks, right? Which damage-wise isn't that much, right? So it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm not that. Yeah, see, it's not much, but I'm not really scared of that.
Right.
And it's kind of underwhelming. His fireball is really good in terms of that one where you can hold it. Because now it becomes tricky in terms of how do I spot dodge or how do I roll it. But if you're patient about it, you can kind of just react to when he lets it go and then deal with it that way. But yeah, there's not a lot to this character that scares me personally. I don't feel like he's really strong offense. He has good defense. As you said, his 2C is a strong anti-air. Really strong. That's where he gets all of his damage from. So don't jump at him. Right? And then if you don't give him what he wants, then like what else can you do there? Yeah. I don't know, man. He does have a command grab. I think that is his super, right?
Yeah, that's his.
Which you can't jump after the flash pressure, right, or something like that. It is really that one. But what is it? If you do that, it doesn't go.
You don't get to charge it.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, like it's just its own set thing. You don't get to charge it. It's not like, you know, the other one where you do.
Okay,
The
yeah.
charge variant, you get the max damage out of it.
So yeah, I just feel like a lot of his tools are just kind of easy to deal with or reactable. And then once you start showing that you can deal with that, especially the dive, it really limits his ability and what he can do. And even him just being a wall, I don't feel like he really gets much out of the stray hits that he gets, unless you're giving him something beefy like a jump in counter hit.
Right.
You know? So I feel like he's okay. He's all right. He's just fine. He can live, but I feel like it's rough when the other person understands how to fight against him. But, like,
Yeah. I don't know. I just think like with his pokes and everything that he has, you know, can cause some issues with that. And I know like you're mentioning like how that doesn't give a lot of damage, but I mean it resets at neutral for him where like if he wants to play his projectile wall and everything, like he's still dictating, you know, you trying to go in on him.
He is, but also I'm not scared of his zoning. Right? Does that make sense? Like, it's not like it's super annoying, like Matera arrows all over the place. So
Right.
it's not
Well,
super
yeah.
annoying,
It's not.
like,
It's definitely not going to be that aspect
you know,
of it.
it's not fairy where I'm kind of guessing on every exchange in terms of like what is she going to do next. It's like he threw out a fireball, cool, I blocked it, and I'm gonna walk forward. Right? Or he's charging up the big one, so I'm gonna walk forward or then spot dodge when he lets it go, and then I'm just gonna slowly walk towards him. Right? And then eventually he's going to whiff a 5B or something, and I'm going to counter poke him. Right?
By the way,
like I don't think getting in on him is as hard as it is against like other characters that play that.
By the way, if you see a Beelzebub throw out Tandem Engine just randomly, you can actually spot roll that and end up on the other side. And that's actually a free punish for you just about.
It's really goofy.
Yeah.
The Beelzebubs should probably not do that.
But there's been some that have done it. Yeah.
But yeah, Tandem by itself is kind of whatever. I feel like.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't know.
I think it's just a combo. It's a combo extender when you get that counter hit 2C.
Yeah, that's really what it's used for.
And you'll have all day to confirm on it too.
Absolutely. It's so goofy just seeing them float there for him. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Zero gravity for about 3 seconds. We go make a sandwich, come back and finish this combo.
Basically.
He does have some really tight confirms off of that though. Like the max damage stuff with him is super to watch. If he doesn't have you anywhere near the corner, then he does open up some better confirms with EX, whatever kick. Yeah, that. So corner situation is cool. It's just
There you are. Yeah, sorry about that.
it's Discord.
Discord's having issues tonight. No surprise. Yeah, as I was showing what you were talking about with, I'll do it again real quick. Like that.
Yeah. That's really Beelzebub in a nutshell, honestly. Like, yeah, he has his B buttons, which are cool. They don't really lead to much mid-screen.
Yeah. Did want to show this real quick. It's the last one. Let's wake up.
You would have to share your screen again.
Oh, did I not? I thought I did. Oh, I didn't hit the button. There we go. Okay. So. Like, no, it's not that one. What is.
Which one are you looking for?
Wake up. There it is. Okay. Like he does have a meaty setup off of his throw in a corner for overhead. I think it's yeah. So
get your meaty overhead setup down, guys. every character should have one somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's the situation you don't want to put in.
Yeah, no.
But also, that is the situation for every character.
Yeah, I mean that's already a chunk of damage there, but yeah, that's like his easy overhead setup that he could do with that. So, all right. I think we went over every character just about then, right?
I think we hit them all.
Yeah,
Pretty sure we hit them
like I know, like we didn't go into like visual displays for Vasaraga and Zeta. Like I said, because I've done so many, like I've done a Zeta breakdown already with her.
Zeta breakdown is just your normal stream, right?
Huh?
The Zeta breakdown is really just catching your normal stream, right? Your net play event.
Basically, pretty much. And there's also like a breakdown I did that's up on my YouTube channel as well.
That is very true.
Which, by the way, I do appreciate you guys finally getting me to 100 subscribers now, finally.
Congrats.
So I can finally change my URL to what I am using now. That was one big reason. Yeah, I got 104 now. So
hell yeah. Keep it going.
Moving on up, I guess, right? So, and like I said, with everything that's going on with the, you know, basically lock-ins and all that stuff, and everything, it's giving me some time to like try some different things and stuff like that, and see what works and see what doesn't. So, having fun with that. As far as that goes, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the breakdown a little bit with you know, Zen and I kind of giving our thoughts on the characters and how they work and everything, and kind of giving our overall views and everything. I think for the most part, I think we agree on all the characters for the most part, with the exception of Beelzebub. I think I'm a little higher on Beelzebub than Zen is, but that's what's awesome about having discussions like this. So
yeah, for sure. Honestly, like I don't I'm the type of person where like I don't I kind of like form a lot of my own opinions. Like I just played to too many extremes, like and then I appreciate other people's opinions, things, right? Like I don't fight against them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know, like, I tend to get a little, I don't want to say personal, because that's not right. Not quite the word.
Salty.
Huh?
Salty.
Salty, I guess, but like, I do get salty. I mean, I'll be honest, I do, but that it's more on other things that happen. But I'd say, I think passionate might be better.
All right.
Because there's certain characters I think that do need tweaked a little bit, everything. But I think the more this game is developed, I don't want to see like characters get nerfed to the ground. I don't want to see that at all. But I do think there's some challenges that are really, really hard to fight. Like, especially like me being a Zeta main, like fighting Catalina and Fairy are like nightmare matchups for me, because they could just play like walls. Everyone else I can handle now for the most part. And like I said, the Matera matchups actually become one of my favorite matchups to fight now with Zeta. But yeah, Cat and Fairy just shut Zeta down instantly, and it just makes it hard for me to, you know, get things going. And I think, like I said, it's just the way her archetype is, where she just has natural risk built into her moveset. You know, with how she plays and everything.
I think those characters are also really good.
Zeta.
Hmm.
A little too good. So they should get, touched a little bit lightly. Like don't break their kneecaps.
Yeah, I don't want to see any of those characters get nerfed to the ground. I just,
Adjust a few things here or there.
yeah, just tweaked a bit.
Yeah.
But if you want to buff the hell out of Zeta, I'm okay with that too. So
Oh no, that's not. I really think they are. This upcoming patch is actually really important because it kind of dictates, like, it kind of shows us what their vision of this game is going to be,
Mhm.
and kind of like dictates things going forward in
Mhm.
terms of what to expect out of these patches. So I'm really curious, just in terms of that, just like what direction do they want to take this game? Do they want to make it even more wild, which means like insane buffs for everyone? Or do they want to try to like normalize it a little bit more, where it's like, all right, we kind of shave off the top tiers a bit, kind of give a little bit to the bottom tiers? Like, that's what I want to know. I want to know what direction they want to take the game
Yeah, I agree with that for the most part too.
more than anything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Jeremy, you hate fighting Ladiva? Huh.
Diva.
Versus
Is that because
You know what?
Ladiva's
I
only
can kind of
one
see
hit
that
away?
though. I can kind of see that though with Lancelot, because Lancelot has to get in close on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that grappler thing, right?
I think that's what that is. That makes sense, because you're already kind of a character where, to get your max stuff you gotta be close range, and Ladiva, that's where she thrives, obviously.
But I also know there's Ladiva's that hate that matchup.
Yeah, you have to guess so much.
It goes back and forth. But I can totally understand that.
I keep missing something.
But yeah, like overall though, like I said, I think this game is really well balanced. Honestly, I think more people are starting to really figure out how to play the matchups properly, really like pushing their characters to their limits, learning how to use system mechanics more and efficiently and stuff like that. A lot of the tournament results have been varied, right? There's been a lot of diversity in terms of people both winning and just top 8s in general.
Yeah.
Both here in the States and as well as in Japan as well. So that's always a good sign, right? No matter how bad we think some of these matchups may be, it's like answers are out there. We're making it work.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, one other thing I will say about Zeta as well. I think she also depends on hard knockdown more than anybody. Especially with her, to get her safe jump setups the way she wants. One thing I've started doing more with her, especially like if I'm mid screen, or like if I'm close to the corner or anything, I'll start ending my combos now with her EX lunge. To basically score the hard knockdown, and then be able to create my safe jump setups off that and everything too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because like I said, she depends on momentum. Even with Lancelot, who's that's the ultimate momentum character in this game. Zeta still to me depends on the momentum more. And the hard knockdowns are part of that momentum for her. So I think she depends on that a lot more than the other characters.
I think I know what you're saying, but I don't know if I would necessarily say it as she depends on down more. I would rephrase that, but I'm not quite sure the words I would put in there on the spot.
But you get what I mean, though.
But I know where you're going with that. Because, like, in general, hard knockdowns is for everything.
Right.
So you get your setups.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more or less different for Zeta in that case.
Well, I mean,
but I think she has a lot of cool shenanigans off of hard knockdowns in terms of if you want to do pogo setups.
Yeah, but that's what I'm meaning, though. I think her game plan revolves more around the hard knockdown for the setups that she wants to do. I
don't know. I would workshop that. But know where you're going.
I just want to land that cool combo. I mean, she's tired of the top tier shit. That's what it is.
Please. Set up, please. Yeah.
Had to get that in there.
I mean, that's fair. You know, I can't wait till they fuck around and buff Narmaya no reason and make her insane.
Character select.
So you're saying Narmaya and Zeta are going to be the new top tiers after this patch?
Yes. I will put money on it. Not because I want them to do that, but because I feel like that is something they're just going to do. Like, they're just going to give them unnecessary buffs in ways that they don't need.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gonna create a situation.
Yeah, I gotta understand that. So we outside of the patch, we will be having also Sora's and Jita dropping. You saw the trailers. Obviously, they're a couple days out now and everything. But what did you think of the two characters after seeing their trailers and like extended movesets and everything?
One, Vegeta's trailer showed a lot more than they normally show at a trailer. Even then, like, I don't know the context for a lot of what they shown in terms of how they interact with other buttons and stuff, so I don't really know what to think, but they look fun. They animate fun. I think Sora's has the coolest looking super in the entire game. Free.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's just free.
I'm just so happy that they did what I was joking around saying they would do, and giving him an install when he's just into Fundoshi.
That had to come, right? Like,
yeah,
that's part of his character. Like,
yeah,
you can't.
You can't negate that.
The only thing that would be better is if they give full vocals to us, right? On some like dang Shishigami shit.
Well, like for example, like in BB Tag when Yang goes into Semblance, her theme song kicks in, and then for Sora's it's the same deal where like he goes into his install and all of a sudden you just hear the Soya theme, like full vocals and everything.
Yeah, I was specifically thinking of Bang, but yes, also Yang as well.
Hey, I'm the Yang player. I gotta bring that in too.
Indeed. Except you know, Bang song. No, that it keeps going actually. The top.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It all keeps going.
It never stops.
No.
You see that his like DP eats multiple hits or whatever that power charge thing.
Yeah, his growler. I think that's his unique action.
Unique action. We don't know yet.
Whatever
that move is.
Yeah, I think it was his unique action. I think in the move breakdown that they posted with him too, it said that.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. That move is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if it's everything. Did it stop lows as well? Can you be thrown out of it? I want to know the rest of the properties around it, but
I think they said you can be thrown out of it. I think what they said is that it loses to throws and supers.
Loses supers. Okay. Alright. That's gonna be fun to play around with.
By the way, they started the Dust Loop page for Sora's. Pros: Big Man Punch Hard, Soya.
Yeah, that sounds accurate. Call it a day.
Yeah. Cons: no DP, no fireball.
That's it. Yep. Wiki is done.
Yep, that's it. It's a wrap. And
Big Man Punch Hard.
Big Man Punch Hard. And then talking about Jita a little bit too. I was not planning on playing that character until I saw that she had a Deadly Rave as her level 1.
Yep.
And I am a fan of Neo Deadly Rave as a move in general. So like by principle, I now have to try her out because of that.
Interesting. So it's I didn't know the input for it.
Yeah, the whole element thing is Neo
Yeah.
Deadly Rave. I think
Yeah,
they should have
clearly.
said it was light, medium,
Medium.
light, medium, heavy into 236U,
214U.
214U. Yeah.
I see it on the wiki here.
Mhm.
Yeah, she looks alright, honestly. I wanted so much more out of Jita.
Like you wanted her to have like a complete different like job class basically as her move set and everything.
Yeah, they basically gave me Naru instead of what I wanted for Jita, right? Like I want
Mhm.
a completely different moveset, job change and stuff, but they gave that to me in another character function.
Yeah.
So like overall, I think she looks cool, but also I need to see more of the rest of her buttons.
Maybe too much grand feeling with her.
Not even too much grand feeling with her, just like nothing screams cool outside of the super.
Yeah. That's
Right.
understandable. I get it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it would be a character I would main and everything because as much as I, you know, talk about Zeta's shortcomings and everything, she is the character I have the most fun with.
Mhm.
Because like she fits the play style I like to play.
Right.
I mean, you look at my list of characters I played. You know, Guy in Street Fighter, Eno and Guilty Gear and stuff like that and everything. I always pick a character that has a little bit of risk to him.
Mhm.
Because I enjoy that payoff. But like I said, with Jita, it's solely because I saw she has a Neo Deadly Rave, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
And then of course, end of the month we'll have Zoe, which that might be the first puppet character that
We'll see how
people are speculating that anyway.
We'll see how it works. Clearly, you can control the dragon. Whether or not that's just like, hey, it's just another special move, or whether or not you have full control over it, it's remains. Like whether it's not, it's like a Relia situation or a Carl situation or even a Celica situation, because those are three quote puppet characters, but they're very different in what they do, right?
Mhm.
So it's which bucket does she fall into?
Right. And
We'll
then
see there.
yeah, and then that will wrap up the character one pass. And then we'll have the second character pass set that's going to be kicked off by Belial. And I'll be honest, I think that character, as far as like characters has been confirmed that's coming, Belial might be the most intriguing one to be because I am not going to have any clue how he's going to play.
Yeah, I don't even know. I really don't know that character outside of people his personality was. And he looks cool. His PSN theme is dope.
Yeah, oh,
by the
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to expect out of the character.
You mean this theme here?
Yeah, that one. I like that artwork a lot.
Yeah. It's really good.
I'm a big fan of that style. So we'll see what happens with him. We'll see when season 2 actually kicks off.
Yeah. Because there's
hope, like I've mentioned it before, but like I hope there's like a decent gap between season 2, just so that you can let things kind of settle. I'm hoping there's not like a whole lot of patching to the game every time like a season drops. Like just kind of like let things rock. So we'll see.
That makes sense. Understand completely. So. All right, dude. I think that's going to go ahead and conclude the stream for tonight, man. Appreciate you coming through and sharing your thoughts.
Yeah, man, anytime. This lasted longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, it took up a good portion of the night. And I'll also be uploading this to my YouTube channel as well for, people to check out and review as well and everything. I think I'm going to put the Resident Evil 3... playthrough that I was going to do tonight. Probably going to put that on hold to tomorrow. I already did one playthrough of it. This is my second playthrough.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes, and then after that, I'll probably get back into Yakuza 0 a little bit, and maybe try to finish that up before Final Fantasy 7 Remake comes out.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yep. And see how things go from there.
sounds good.
So,
Awesome.
all right, guys, appreciate you watching. You follow me on Twitter, RCB_FGC. That's where I post all my updates as far as what I'm gonna stream and what's basically going on with everything. Just follow there. You can follow my boy Zenosuke on his Twitter account at Zenosuke, ZENOSUKE, and also
Yeah.
check out the podcast that they do
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, please do. We actually, technically our last episode we just uploaded on Friday was our 1 year anniversary, but
Has it already been a year?
it's been 1 year. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll probably like
jeez.
officially celebrate that next episode because this one was a little iffy because Nick is weather, so we had to do some emergency shifting in terms of recording. But yeah, it's been a year. It's been a long time. I feel like we've really grown into what we want to turn this thing into to be, and everyone that seems to check it out seems to really enjoy it. So I would appreciate it if others out there just like take a listen, and if you don't like it, cool, but at least give it a shot. I think we do some pretty cool stuff on there.
Yeah, give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance. We talk about video games. We talk about a lot of games that like people don't really hear of either. Like we love to shed light on like indie games and big games alike. So like, give it a go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can also follow that Twitter account too, which is Jack Savage Base, which posts all the podcasts there and everything. And you can also check them out on SoundCloud, or no, I'm sorry, not SoundCloud, but Spotify. That's what I meant. Spotify,
Yep.
and then the other avenues.
It's Spotify, it's Apple, it's on Google Podcast, it's on another service called Spreaker. At some point, I think we're gonna shift and start doing YouTube as well.
It's a good idea.
That requires a little bit more work, but we're doing stuff. We're gonna figure it out.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Like I said, I'll probably do more Resident Evil 3 remake tomorrow night after I'm done helping out Ronan Rumble with Grand Blue tomorrow night. Jeremy, when am I going to be on the podcast? Jeremy, I'm still waiting for my invite. I mean, we're in the same boat here, man.
I've invited you, Ryan. I told you as soon as you finished, and then you never got back to me. Jeremy, you need to stop wanting to talk about Pro Jared. Like, as soon as you come to me with a better topic than Pro Jared, then we're cool. If you want to come talk about some RE3, like, by all means.
I might have to do that then. When's the next time you guys record?
It'll either be next Wednesday or Thursday, depending on schedule.
Okay. I'll be free both those. Well, Thursday afternoon I work at the radio station, but Wednesday, Thursday evenings I'm typically free.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I would
Yeah.
love to.
I think that because we can also talk about the other stuff too, like the event stuff and a bunch of different things we can get into.
Oh yeah, I can have a fun time with that.
Yeah.
There's
So
anything.
awesome. All right. Well, Zen, I appreciate your time, my man.
Yeah, man, appreciate you having me. This was fun. This was a good night.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do this again soon, especially with Sora's and Jita dropping too. I'm pretty sure we'll look at those characters, and if there are balance changes, we'll see what the new changes are for those characters too. So, all right, guys, that's going to go ahead and call it for a night for us. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you all tomorrow night for more RE3 remake on my channel here too. So, thanks again for the support. Thanks for watching. And we'll check you guys next time.
Bye.